What's up, everybody? This is Edward back on another video. So, what we once again, I know I just did damn near 3 hours, and I'm not typically here to want to stream all day, every day. Ain't nobody on right now. I have other shit to do, but you know what? What's gonna happen is, and I'm gonna be full transparent. This shit is gonna piss me off if I don't deal with it. Um, so I'm gonna deal with it. I don't know what MOT said, so I'm gonna start here. I have said more than a couple of times as far as my subscribers on people that follow me on Facebook and people on I've said it here. Do not send me shit that other folks say. I will find it and I will see it if it's something that's worthy of being, or it's something that's gonna get seen. I do not. I'm really tired of the catty, pussified, period having dudes. There's like a small percentage of you all that you all get off on other folks arguing. And so you all will send people a clip, because I'm going to tell you something. I don't even use the word conservative that much. So I already know or have an idea of what he would have heard and how he would have heard it. And it's always the same folks. I actually got a dude this low key trying to troll me. I mean, he's got a rat for an avatar, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even replied as much. At first, I was gonna type, and I said, you know what, why am I typing this dude? And I just removed his comments. He's got a comment, and you know who you are. I think his name is Ronnie. And it's like, y'all, I brought you up. You had a conversation. And I already knew I shouldn't have brought you up because I already knew who you was hanging with. Jerome, hanging with motherfuckers like that. And it's like, a lot of y'all are losers. Are fucking losers. And then I did go through the video and I looked at the chat. And then you got people talk about, oh, he an Uber driver, which I haven't done in like literally 3 years now. Which I said at the time I was doing that for a reason. Or which really, I made a lot of money off of affiliate onboarding a lot of people from Uber. None of this has anything to do with anything MOT said. I'm just talking about in the chat. The other thing is, you got folks, Jerome was in there. I mean, you got folks that don't like me. They don't like that I exist. They want to have a period once a month just because I have a YouTube channel and that I exist. Like, you all need to go get a life. Like, for real. Oh, well, all internet marketers are broke. That you got people that they really need to get a fucking life, and they have a problem with the fact that there are people that listen to me, and that hurts them. And a lot of these folks, they go to YouTuber trying to start shit. And honestly, I've already given some of y'all fair warning. I know the new people from the not new people. So if I know, unless you donate to me heavy like that, if I already know that, like, I'm just gonna fucking block y'all. I really am. That's the first thing. The second thing, because quite frankly, a lot of y'all like to jump from channel to channel doing this bullshit. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not your fucking entertainment. Like, straight up. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I'm gonna do a play-by-play, and we're gonna find out together what he's talking about, because I don't know what the fuck is he talking about, honestly. So we're gonna find out, and I'm gonna see if it's a thing or if it's not a thing, and we're gonna go where it goes. And MOT is invited if he wants to come to let me know what's his issue. I don't know. So with that being said, oops, I always do this. I always forget to do the fucking thing. I mean, I don't even use the word conservative like that. And I ain't gonna lie, I listened like a couple of seconds of what MOT, and the thing that I heard was, I don't hear him talking about political shit. First of all, so we'll get into that as we get into it. We'll get into it as we get into it. Let's see. And this is not gonna be forever and a day. So let's see. I just want to know what he said. I'm like, rather than me listening to it, y'all can get my live response. So let's see. Let's go. And I saw the MOT is at 24,000 subscribers. Don't know why he feels like he needs to say something about me at 5, but you know what? Let's see. And I'm not gonna lie, based on what I was looking at the chat, I did not like what I was seeing in the chat. But let's go.
It's not.
And yeah, I'm like what was going on? This is like cutting off and cutting back on. I don't know what's going on with this.
Right away.
Now let's see. And I'm gonna speed this up. And I'm playing it.
I am not a Purdue fan. It's just a shirt. All right, hold on a second, man. Because, see, you got to nip this shit in the bud right away. Because these niggas are getting real mouthy around this bitch. And I'm going to prove my point about how conservative this motherfucker is not. And I'm going to show you why Edward Anderson is trying to co-opt the conservative brand. So we're going to go over.
Okay, let's start here. I've had private conversations with MOT. I've had private on the phone. I've had private conversations with Sub-Zero 3639 on the phone. Let's be absolutely I don't believe he purchased subscribers. But and let me be very clear here, what this is not, y'all get one warning. This is not a roast MOT stream. This is not you all put your shit in here talking shit about MOT and then I don't see it. I'm telling you right now, we're going to keep this professional. We're going to keep this tight. We're going to keep this real. American Negro, that goes to you. Okay? You get one warning. And then folks are going to start getting blocked and getting timed out. And ain't no one warning. American Negro is a warning for everybody because he didn't know. So I'm letting you know that's not what the fuck this is. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you, I really didn't like that he let a lot of them folks say what they say in the chat. So I already said before I jump in what we were going to do. And then y'all just going to do what y'all going to do. And I'm serious. I'm cool, but I'm on one right now. If y'all try me, some of y'all are probably going to unsubscribe from me. All right? So let's be clear here. I am not, like what he just said, I am not trying to co-opt shit. When I say I live conservative, I don't have tattoos. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm talking about how I live my fucking life. If I wanted to create a conservative channel, I would just create the fucking channel. I would just create it. So he's talking about the political Trump supporter bullshit. Because I see now, like Ramil's got a video, which probably has nothing to do with this, talk about why am I not a conservative? Okay, let's be clear, and I said this on my video. We're not talking about the pro, because see, he's pro-Trump. So some people would say if you're pro-Trump, by definition, you are conservative. Definition. In some people's eyes. And they'll say you're an idiot. That's number one. Number two, you have traditional black men, which is what I'm talking about. Okay? That is called conservative. That is not necessarily the Allen West, Tim Scott shit. Because that is a political shit. I can tell right now MOT is referring to political shit. Anthony Brian Logan, Brandon Tatum, and all that shit. I have always created a separation from that shit. But let's go. Because it's only a couple of words.
This is not beef. I'm just showing you that niggas are full of shit.
So he's already said this is not beef, but I am not full of shit.
When they talk about politics.
I am very open and honest when I talk about politics.
I don't want to hear this shit. Do your fucking live stream and respond to my goddamn points. If you're a conservative.
Yeah, I'm about to. I'm glad because I didn't hear this part. He can predict the future. We got a Yoda.
You've never been conservative in this fucking space. Never been a conservative.
So this is what I would ask. This is what I would ask you all in the chat, and this is what I would challenge people. What the fuck have I ever said is liberal? Give me some shit. I'm out here with everything I've said. What have anybody in the chat? Give me some stuff that I've said is liberal. Give me some stuff. I've already told you all, when it comes to the pro-life, pro-choice shit, I personally think that women shouldn't have the right to choose to abort kids. Personally, I don't give a shit, but I think that you got to dial back feminism. You got to dial back that. So I want anybody to say, what have I stated that actually would put me into the liberal category, other than the fact that I've said I'm registered Democrat? That doesn't automatically make me a liberal. A Democrat and a liberal are two different things. You said benefits of marriage. Just because I don't advocate for marriage doesn't make me a liberal. Marriage is not political. Because I got a question for you. What you don't see no pro-marriage conservatives talk about being pro-family. And they're talking about that as an aspect of if you're going to have children. I don't have kids. So I'm curious, like what is it about me? So the marriage is out. I already addressed the pro-choice thing, the pro-life thing. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between cultural and political. And so far, everything he's focused on is political.
Ever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over how this guy's not a conservative.
I'm curious to hear that.
Very easy. Oh, hold on a second. I got to pay for this.
And see, this is what I'm talking about. Black people can only talk about shit one way. And I can see in the chat that they're talking about from a political standpoint. And a racial standpoint is a political standpoint. Why are we waiting for him? Let that play. Yo, what's up, Raining Woman? I'm curious, Raining Woman. You've heard me talk a little bit. What have you seen me say this liberal?
But the manosphere is the only place where you can come and like say dumb shit like that in public and think ain't nobody gonna call you on the shit.
I bet you he don't play what I said because it's probably like one like phrase.
Hold on a second. I'll pay for this.
All right, fuck the string. Fuck the thing. I'm curious. I'd rather, if I can't get you on the thing, then I'd play it so I can hear what you said. But if you're here, then yeah, I'd rather have you here, ask you directly, see what's up. What is the issue you had with anything I've said? Because I really don't want to go through this damn video. Oh, ain't no hate in the chat, because if it's going to be hate in the chat, y'all going to get timed out. Like, I'm not playing with y'all with that bullshit. Because quite frankly, why I'm pissed off is really a lot of these catty ass, bitch ass niggas that they go around saying what somebody said and shit. And includes y'all that said they talk about, man, he up in here talking to you while I'm doing the stream. I told you all about that. Yeah, what's up? What's up, MOT?
You're not a conservative, man.
Okay, so let me start here real quick. And this is not gonna be me grilling you. What did you hear, or where did you hear that I said I am a conservative in the way that you're responding to it? Like, did somebody send you a clip? That's what I'm interested in.
I listened to the last 3 live streams where you went down this whole list of people that you said were conservatives who clearly wasn't, like Jason Black and shit like that. Like, listen, you're not a conservative if you give a fuck about liberal women. If you talk about liberal women at all, you're not a conservative. If you give a fuck about if the word gynocracy come out of your mouth, you're not a goddamn conservative. Period. That's the way it is. Because here's the thing. If you care about the outcome of black women who have not decided to give up power, You are a fucking liberal. You're not a conservative.
Okay.
In no way, shape, or form.
Okay, so I talk about the gynocracy as to how it affects men. Not how it affects, not because I'm not in the, I've never advocated for changing women. The gynocracy that I talk about is always how it affects men and how men buy into it, because they apparently need to be educated into doing what's in their own best interests.
Yeah, but you have to understand this. At this point, we're talking about new options. The women of the gynocracy are not new options. Women of the gynocracy are the people who abuse their power that they had in the first place. So this is what disqualifies you from being a conservative.
Okay, so new options such as me talking about intercultural dating.
Yeah, sure.
I'm the one that brought that to the lexicon. Me, not even BGS. I did. What about? I'll ask you this. What about me? Like, because when I'm me talking about like the gynocracy is like
it's somebody talking
about black, but that's like how quote unquote these fucking political anti-Brian Logans and them. Look, first of all, I'm not sitting there. I need to understand what you're talking about. You talk about like Anthony Brian. I'm trying to say I'm Anthony Brian Logan or Brandon Tatum.
I'm saying that, Edward, you don't have a track record politically of being conservative at all.
So I'm not talking about
Edward.
politics.
I have to finish. Okay? Yeah. There's no such thing as cultural politics when it comes to conservatism. That's grifting and that's bullshit. We have street conservatives now. Did they have street conservatives back in the fucking Confederacy?
We're not talking about angry men. We're talking about me.
I know. So when you invent your own brand of conservatism that's not based on policy, it's a fucking grift and it has nothing to do with actual track record of conservatism.
So I'm a grifter.
You can't just... No, I'm just telling you that you can't go inventing new levels of conservatism.
Do you know what a traditional black man is? Like, do you know what being traditional outside of politics?
Nope, you're trying to get me to have a cultural conversation.
No, that's what my channel is about.
I know.
What are you talking about?
Dude, you can't do cultural conservatism. It's not real conservatism.
You are applying.
It is not.
Dude, there is no conservative party. There is the Republican and Democratic Party. And then you have Libertarian and then you have Green.
All right. No, sir. Listen. You don't know politics, which is why you're trying to smear the issue all over the place.
I'm not.
I know you're trying to make a cultural conversation out of conservatism.
My channel is not a political channel. I don't do political videos.
So you're trying to call yourself a cultural conservative?
What I am saying, when I always make this comment, I say I do not have tattoos. I do not drink. I do not smoke.
That don't make you conservative. They don't make you conservative.
What does that make me then?
It makes you an individual who has made choices. You're trying to turn the conservative means political track record. Call it something else. But so far,
you think I'm trying to? What do you think my intentions are as far as me using that word?
Okay, let me tell you what it is. If you're doing the cultural conservative piece because you don't drink and you don't smoke, don't use the word conservatism. This shit means something very
specific. You said I'm a grifter, so I'm asking.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm asking. If you think I'm trying to grow my channel to like 50,000? Fuck
yeah, you are. You are. Based off the black fucking issue.
Hold on.
That's exactly what you're trying to do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, if I wanted to do that,
hell yeah. That's why you talk about these bitches all the time.
What evidence do you have I'm trying to do that?
Dude, listen, man. Listen. Cultural conservatism is a grift. That's what it is. Cultural conservatism has always been a grift throughout history. If you're going to call yourself a conservative, you need to embody the conservative track record through actual history and Supreme Court justices and everything else.
Do you think that's what liberal? Do you think that's what black people that you would call liberals do?
No. Liberals actually have to talk about politics.
How can they both be equal? How can they both?
They're not equal.
To be a conservative?
What are you talking about? You're
conservative?
Yeah.
You're conservative.
Most of my policies are conservative.
Even though you be talking about you're liberal.
Hold on. The reason why conservatism don't work within this country is because the conservative party who's always been the enemy of America, who's un-American to their core, don't believe in equal protection under the law. In order for conservatism to work, you got to have equal protection under the law. Even when black people, wait, hold on. I know you're about to go off on this whole rant, but you have to understand that without equal protection under the law, real conservatism doesn't work. Their type of conservatism is quite different. So when you use the word conservative, you're trying to use conservative as good, as whole, as better than most because you don't drink and don't smoke and all that other shit. But I'm telling you, a lot of people didn't drink and didn't smoke and do all that other shit, and they still went through Jim Crow. So when you use the word conservative, it means something. It has a track record to it. I'm just saying this. If you want to be more decent than the other person, use that. Because when you say that you're a conservative, we have other type of conservatives here. I don't have to go over the many different splinters of conservatives within the black space of YouTube who just purely grifting off the goddamn thing because don't nobody know about politics and people don't read and they don't understand history. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
You're not a
so
conservative.
let's be clear here. Let's be clear here. You're saying that I'm doing this to get views. Do you not know there is an infinite amount of
we're not changing it to that. We are changing it to the fact that
well, this is my panel. So what you're not gonna I did let you talk.
Okay, well, answer the question.
The easiest way would be for me to start promoting Trump if I was gonna go that route. Hold on. My channel is very clear and my shit has not had a lot of bumps. My channel's existed for 4 years. You would think if that was my intention that I would have did it some other way.
It's your intention now.
How? You don't. Why
yes,
now?
I'm telling you about your intention now because the whole track record.
Why now?
You never called yourself a conservative at no other point when you had your channel other than 6 months ago.
Dude,
you never called yourself a conservative.
You
never called yourself a conservative.
Okay, so let's do this. When have you heard me call myself a conservative? Because you make it like I made a whole video talking about why I called a conservative.
Edward, we're not going to go over that. You know what you said. Okay, you know what you said. We're not gonna play this game like you don't know what you said.
Dude.
We're not gonna play this game. Oh, okay, Edward. Listen, have your cultural conservative piece. Cultural conservatives are grifters. Okay, if you call yourself a conservative, you need to be talking about policy. If you're talking about culture, you're no longer a conservative. You are a grifter. Okay, call yourself a conservative. It has a very intentional action behind it.
Dude, I'm a lot of things. I don't know where.
Right.
I don't know where.
All right, man. We're done talking.
Oh well, I mean, you can see your ass out because you know what it sounds like you're trying to do. I'm really trying to be respectful. I am really trying to be respectful.
Okay, well, you can be disrespectful right now.
It really sounds like you're trying to tell me what the fuck to do.
Yeah,
that's what it really tells
to do when it comes to conservative.
So you telling me?
Don't use the word conservative. Don't use the word conservative. Conservative actually means some shit.
Dude, are you my boss or something?
Fuck yeah! Don't use the word conservative. That has a track record behind it.
So what? So are you cool when you're using the word liberal?
Then you're a fucking grifter.
Have a
nice day, Edward. That's right, Edward. Have a nice fucking day.
Dude, how many?
Have a nice fucking day. Have a nice fucking day.
Dude, well, you can leave.
Day.
Like, are you serious?
You are a fucking grifter.
I'm a grifter. You heard it first.
You
MOT said I'm a grifter because I use the word.
Yeah, you are. I know, because you're a cultural fucking conservative. A cultural conservative has nothing to do with fucking policy. You've never discussed conservative fucking policy ever. Fuck out of here. You have a really nice fucking day, cultural conservative.
MOT's needs medication. I mean, I let him talk. And so apparently, so let me go over this. Here's what I had. I'm glad he came up. And let's be clear here. Not even angry man. First of all, let me say it like this. Apparently, I got to do a PowerPoint presentation for you Negroes. When I say that I am traditional, that I operate a certain way, this is never, ever, and I've said this on my channel multiple times. I share Love fucking Dorsey and defend Love Dorsey. Everybody knows what I say is not intention to say I'm better than anyone. What it's designed to do is to say that there are certain cultural patterns in the Black community that people embrace. Certain people embrace the street shit. Certain people embrace the gynocentric shit. Certain people embrace the hyper assimilation shit. Certain people embrace the square shit. Certain people embrace certain things. And I'm defining to you why I do what I do. People can do what the fuck they want. And so when I use the word cultural conservative, it is culture and conservative. Now, if we're talking about amongst Black people, now, if you want to add all this white shit, all this history shit, because I was seeing a lot of people talk about the compensatory shit, all this extra pro-Black shit that people want to add in there, you know, in order to define shit. So now everybody's pro-Black. Now, here's the thing. MOT wants to use pro-Black logic and pro-Black talking points because now I know, because this is how he's trying to define me, yet MOT is not known for being the pro-Black guy. Now, let's take away pro-Black from the purpose out of the traditional gynocentric shit. And so I want to make this clear here. MOT has 24,000 subscribers. So for some reason, MOT felt the need to get me fucking told and tell me because I use a fucking phrase a couple of different times. I want y'all to really understand that. And then he wants to say I am a grifter when MOT gets a hell of a lot more super chats than I do. MOT gets a hell of a lot more cash apps than I do. But all of a sudden, I'm a grifter. I'm trying to grow my channel because I'm trying to ride some kind of conservative wave. You have never heard me say anything positive really about Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, Anthony Brown Logan, and so. I was just talking about Amira and what she don't know. Right? So what this is really about is, I'm going to tell you right now what this is really about. I'm going to tell you right now what this is really about. And I hope MOT's still listening. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like BGS. Because that's really what this is about. And I'm going to tell you, I prefer people say what they say. And also, yes, just because, here's the thing that's retarded. Conservative has nothing to do, even when it comes to changing women. If you're trying to bring somebody to your point of view, like this, SYSBM is not, oh, well, I'm conservative because I'm SYSBM. I'm conservative because I don't deal with women that I therefore see as that. That is not what conservative is. We're talking about politics. That's not what that is. Not really. And so now people are trying to define shit how they want to define it, and then they want to take their shit like a battering ram. I haven't even talked to MOT in a minute, and yet MOT out of nowhere wants to make a video. This is really about what being a man is about when it comes to in this space. You got folks that they want to start shit just to start shit, and so they're fucking reaching like for the stars to blow shit up. But let's see if any of y'all disagree with me. Shit, let's have a smoke show. Anybody that wants to come up, come up. And I'm curious. Because he basically said, I'm glad he came up. And then if you look at how he was engaging with me, I mean, he was pretty much like thinking I was going to be some kind of little boy and then listen to fucking what he was going to say and then do what the fuck he wants to say as if I give a fuck about if he wants to call me a grifter. And what it's really about, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to call it absolutely out what it's really about. What it's really about is MOT don't like the fact I still fuck with BGS because he don't like them. Just like how J Speed now has an issue with BGS, just like how it's a couple other people. That's really what this comes down to. He don't like that I like BGS. BGS is on another panel right now. And because he has an issue with BGS, he now has an issue with me. This is the same thing. I'm not going to say who it was, but this is the same thing that one YouTuber did when he came to O'Shea. They basically said, I either fuck with them or I fuck with me. But what black people tend to do is they like to create smokescreen arguments. I was pretty much going against Anton I did not sit here and declare myself a conservative like that. And you know what? I will challenge MOT, get any of his minions to comb over my content and go find the clip. Because I was pretty sure he didn't play the clip. Now, part of it could be he was on his phone, but another part of it, he doesn't have the clip. Because if you play the clip, for him to go off as much as he's going off, that shit would be ridiculous. Because I didn't sit here and have a whole tangent talk about I'm a conservative and this is why I'm better than you. I don't do that. When I talk about politics, I talk about politics like an agnostic. Is this conservative or is this somebody trying to troll me?
Nah, bro, it's conservative.
All right, what's up? You never know. Motherfuckers are getting creative. So I gotta be real quick with that trigger.
Nah. I actually want to ask you a question because I was watching this whole shit. I listened to MOT a little bit earlier, and then somebody sent me the link to this shit. And I listened to you, and then MOT came up, and I was just like amazed at the whole thing. And the question I want to ask you though specifically, what is it about the word conservative or the idea of conservatism, however you want to approach it? What is it specifically do you think that drives certain people over the edge? Because from what I understand, the criticisms and the observations that we sort of delve in the Black manosphere, or the manosphere anyway in particular, they push you into a conservative narrative, whether it's socially or politically. Like politically speaking, if you don't want to pay for baby mamas and they bullshit, if you don't want to pay for another bitch's kids out of your tax money, that's a conservative stance. So I don't understand why the word or the idea drives Black people so crazy when we've been talking about this shit for years without putting a name on it.
I mean, Jay the Conqueror, you're welcome to come on. You said he describes his issues. I just didn't listen. I mean, I was listening to what he had to say. I mean, it was really just a one-way conversation. Him basically telling me what to do, and either I'm going to comply or not comply, which he already knows. He already knows basically. Oh, okay, Jay. But he already knows. Like, we've had conversations. So again, he's telling me I'm not what he defines the shit to be. And and the problem is he's making it really loaded. Me, I look at it as a methodology. When you look at like the society right now, the society is generally broken up into 2 points. You're either more on the conservative, the center, the right side, or the left side. And then there's a whole bunch of things you can pretty much like split that into. But at the end of the day, when you look at how things are going, like even for, like you said, with the policies when it comes to, or with the fucking paying for baby mamas and stuff like that, you have these views or that views, and you could have split views and stuff like that. But the point is, he's trying to basically say, I'm not a political channel, so therefore I don't have a right to say how I live my life. And he's saying, oh, well, you just need to call it something other than conservative. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't.
It doesn't make sense, period. And then, like, I'm sorry to jump in. I'm going to say this one last thing. If you, because how's MOT, a man who's went to bat for progressivism, all of a sudden going to claim he's somehow conservative? And then after he says he's conservative, he's going to stand up and tell you he's the boss of you on your channel. Like, the shit is so hypocritical, bro. And I've been watching him spiral out of control for a while. You wouldn't believe all the crazy shit this motherfucker says.
Well,
like, apparently he's a preacher who doesn't believe in God. He's an atheist preacher. Well, the shit is retarded.
Well, I mean, yeah, the thing, like, I will say this, and I get it, but with this is not going to be let's roast MOT or anything. I mean, I get what you were saying, conservative, and there's a lot of dudes that's been going off on a lot of people, like, out of nowhere and shit. So I get that, but I want to really stick to the point, because when you really look at it, and here's going to be 2 points. One is discussing conservatism as far as how it splits off a lot of ideologies that a lot of Black men that say they're conservatives, what are their patterns that they're acting on, and then actually what I said, and then I guess what he said if you all saw that video. Because I didn't see it, because I already know if I would have watched that video and I would have wasted an hour and a half of him spitting some shit would have pissed me off. Like, I already know. So I'm actually glad he came up to kind of give me what his opinion was. So now I got the gist of it.
But Ed, you know what kind of pissed me off right there? He's trying to tell you what you should do with your channel and tell you what your title you should give yourself. The way he was demanding that shit. Don't let that goofy clown man tell you what you should do with your channel and how define what you say.
Well, I did it, but that doesn't mean I'm sitting there.
I know, yeah, but that pissed me off even worse, even more, and everything. This is the same dude who goes after dating coaches and told my show receipts of the woman you teach men to get with. I had to call that dude out when he was on Sweet Melody's channel and shit like that. Me and ARC tell him like, yo, you want to describe a damn style of dating? Create one yourself and have niggas follow you.
Well, I mean, the thing about here's the thing. Here's the bigger thing here is people are gonna listen to who they listen to.
I know.
And I'm not out here telling people who they shouldn't listen to and shit like that, because at the end of the day, you have to own who you listen to. I recommend people that I think you should listen to. That's just to let you know it's out there. But I don't sit there and say, well, if you don't listen to this motherfucker, you stupid. I may say if you do listen to some motherfuckers, you stupid. But at the end of the day, it's to remind folks that you are accountable to who you listen to. And that's not a veiled diss at MOT. I've said that with anybody. But this is why I kind of got quiet, because I wanted to say, look, you hear what he said, and y'all know what I have traditionally said. I have not removed a lot of my content. I've been very consistent in what I say. And I have always said, I'm not, I'm a conservative in the loaded political bullshit that folks bring to it. I've always said that, I'm not out here trying to do all this crazy shit that some Negroes are out here doing. You know what I'm saying? They look, and it's not even about parties at this point. A lot of that has to do with a lot of the hood shit. A lot of the it's more really, I guess it should be called traditional. And it's not meant for me to say the traditional way is the better way and I'm a better person. It's just to say this is what side I'm on, the square side for the most part. Now y'all want to be on the street side, that's fine, but don't sit there and then blame like White Zaddy and all this other bullshit for the street, for some of the shit y'all choose to do. That's it. Let's see. I want to get Mike V on here. So I know I'm just jumping the line, and I'm gonna get Black Mind next. All y'all are gonna get to talk, but I just want to get Mike V first. So what's up?
Hey, what's good, man? What's good? Chilling.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me up. Yeah, I only heard the last bit before MOT jumped off. But here's what I will say. I think what MOT is frustrated with is the fact that people in this space, or at least male content creators, are trying to use the term conservatism outside of the social context that's already been socially accepted. And so when he talks about the track record or the history of it, a lot of guys don't want to actually go through the history of it. They want to rebrand the term to mean something that is the opposite of what you're saying may be the gynocracy, right? And that's not really conservatism at all. And I think the biggest problem in this space is language, right? The linguistics is really bad in this space. Prior to, Manosphere, what we call Manosphere 2.0 and 1.0, you didn't really have these sort of, conflicts in terms of ideology. People were pretty much on the same page in terms of Black male empowerment and really attacking the system. Now, this space means if you don't like Black women, or you're anti-Biden, or you're anti-democratic, then you're a conservative. But that has nothing to do with conservatism, and not in the social context for that matter. And so I think MOT's frustration with a lot of content creators in the space is that too many Black men are rebranding terms so that it fits their narrative, and that's where things get really messy, because people don't really know where they stand. And they tend to exercise their idea of what they think it is, or their perception at the polls too.
Okay, that's an excellent point.
Oh,
but hold on. That's an excellent point. But that's not any. I'm on a lot of these panels. I'm out here, and I've always made it clear as to where I'm at, and explain where I'm at personally. So that explains like why he does what he does. That does explain why he applies that to me. Because, like I said, he decided, he heard me say one thing. Not like, oh, I've made a video and this, or multiple videos, and then he decided to run off the rails with it. Like talking about, oh, no, you don't, blah, 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 blah. Like, y'all know, I'm not really a fan of Trump like that. I'm not like, so all these things that are you can apply to a lot of those folks, because I don't think I'm a conservative channel. I talk about the gynocracy. And I talk about the gynocracy so dudes really understand like the totality of what's really going on, the algorithm of what's going on, and that's not just
Yo,
women, that's how men buy into it as well. Like really, that explains more why men buy into certain shit that doesn't benefit them. Now, me and you are going to disagree with how to go about dealing with that, and like I'm not saying your way can't work. I'm just saying that is what it is, but that's some shit that doesn't even apply to me anyway. So I get what you're talking about because I see people do that. But I've actually been the one to say, because my intention is this. Rather than folks just use one term and try to lump it all under one thing and rebrand it, I'm more into let's actually divide this shit up so you all actually understand what you're saying. So for example, if I mention a guy like, let's say Sub-Zero 3639 and Jason Black, who these guys tend to lean a little bit more religious, right? They're not necessary, but they're not going to go along. They'll agree with certain things that like Republicans say, but they understand the social racial component to it. Jason Black is going to focus on that more than not MOT, but more than Sub-Zero. So you have that. Then you have the hyper assimilationist folks, you know, which they believe in just going along with the racism. You just need to get past that, and eventually that'll dissipate, folks. You know, like that'll go away. You know, once they see you're not like the other people, which I don't buy into that either. And so my thing is, then you got the people that they're not really conservative, but they're pro-Trump. And you know what I'm saying? Then you got the red pill people that they're red pill for one reason or the other. And then they're trying to call that what you just said. Those are different camps. And what I prefer, then you got the folks that are real grifters, like Anthony Brian Logan. Those people are characterized as generally having white audiences. It's not the same thing. And then you like Anthony Brian Logan, Candace Owens. Those people cater to a white audience. So there's not a true ideology behind that. It's just that's where the money is. And then you have people that I call true believers, which is Brandon Tatum. Well, Brandon Tatum believes the bullshit he says.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I'm speaking from like maybe where MOT is coming from. You have to remember MOT is from Mississippi, right? He's from the deep South where there is that one conservatism that's pretty much universally accepted. I think in this space, though, I think a lot of black men think they're conservative, but they don't actually live that lifestyle, right? And so I think maybe when you may have said it.
Well, and that's what I said. I expressed what that was. And like I said, I don't have kids. I don't care. Like at the end of the day, the label is not that important to me. I use the word as a method to say, okay, this is the umbrella. You got liberal, because just because you're liberal doesn't necessarily, I mean, you could, Van Jones is not like a hood person, but he's liberal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
but they're honest liberals though. They're
no, I'm not trying to say it's bad. I'm just trying to say what there needs to be is a tree that basically disseminates, like, and even if people want to use different words, they can. Now here's the thing: ain't nobody gonna tell me what the fuck to do. Like that shit ain't gonna happen. You know, and I'm in North Carolina. You know, Jada Black is in South Carolina, and he says, you know, he's center right. He hasn't said, and there's a difference between having a political channel. My channel's not political like that. I've never made it to be. Like I said,
but when people say that they're center right or they're conservative, what are they basing that off of? I think this is what it gets down to. Sorry for jumping in, but is that when people say that, no one ever wants to talk about policy?
Well, I'm basing it more on being traditional, and so in today's context. So we know, look, man, you know, if I say a black person, we're not talking about like a guy like Van Jones. If I say liberal, what do you think? You think pro-feminism, pro-abortion, there's a lot of different stuff that goes along with that, pro-gay, a lot of different shit. Remember, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let you go. The first thing I've always said that I am is I'm pro-group economics. And a lot of people that I have always followed, Glennie Cameron, Jason Black up until recently, Boyce Watkins back in the day, because Dr. Clark Anderson had his ear, always came back to that. That's not really something that liberals really push like that, you know? And it's not to be, it's not, so go ahead.
No, I was going to say what you just referenced, though, is when you say gay or when you talk about that's what we're kind of getting at, is that it's cultural. Like when you say liberals don't push economics, like Bernie Sanders' whole message was economics. I said
group economics. Go ahead.
Okay. I thought you said economic.
Like I made that very I'm not gonna that would be dumb. Yes, they put, and I'm not even, and here's the thing, I'm not 100, like, I'm not against, if it's a liberal economic policy, I'm against it. That's not necessarily the case either. I look at it from a group economics lens. So if somebody from the liberal side is going to push the government, see, this is where, like, Yvette Carnell and Tone, in my opinion, get it wrong. They try to say the problem is capitalism, and then you need the government to do this, do that. The government is really supposed to, see, they talk about the government making you whole. That's what they say all the time. But most folks that are in the group economics camp are not against that. They, in my opinion, they kind of use that as a smoke screen for other things, for other intentions that they really have. Like, they're not really about spurring industrialism in the black community, or they don't really care about getting other groups out of the community and black people actually being able to have their own economic fold. I'm not saying it should be completely separate, but like doing what other groups do, they don't take it that far. Even with the ADO stuff, they don't take it that far.
Ed, the liberals don't have that sort of economic vision, and that's the problem. And that's why.
Well, I'm not here to make it. I hear what you say, conservatives, but I'm not here to make this about which is better, liberal, because y'all have a right.
I'm going to tie this back to the manosphere without making it a deep political argument, because this is when black men get together and talk about this shit, like, we don't want to spend our money. Like I said, I'm tie back to baby mamas. And you could actually extend that argument. What else don't you want to spend your money on? Do you want to spend your money on Mexican educational programs and shit like that? Like, do we want to spend our tax money on immigration programs and shit? So there is a very conservative nature to what actually does to get discussed amongst black men. And we don't want to call it what it is for all kind of other reasons. But the fact is, when we get together and talk about these ideas, these aren't liberal ideas. Nobody's talking about gay rights. Nobody's talking about giving women child care with the next government bill they pass. Like, it's actually a conservative circle, and until dudes just accept that reality, we're going to be stuck in this dumbass name calling situation.
Well, one thing about accepting, this is where the contention gets with that. The Black Manosphere was created mainly as the reason the Black Manosphere was created is because the white boys can't let certain shit go. I just was talking about this.
That's why
stuff earlier. Hold on, I got you, because I know Mike. I'll let you piggyback off of it, Mike.
Yeah.
That's why it was created, and I reaffirmed that and made it very clear, because the white boys can't let go. Like Dr. Frances Welsing did excellent work, but there's certain things white men will never be able to let go, and I'm talking from a sexual competitive component.
What stuff is that, Edward? What stuff can't the white boys let go?
The white boys have this irrational fear that black men are basically trying to breathe them out.
Really?
That's originally
really?
why.
Wow. Okay.
So you're just going pretty. I mean, even Alan Roger Curry, who is not necessarily Alan Roger Curry makes money with them and all that. He was on there talking about the 21. Alan Roger Curry is not big on bringing up race. We can all agree with that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Even Alan Roger Curry said when he had to speak with the 21 convention, he was talking about some of the speakers, they would use veiled language and all that. And that's not like, that's him saying it, but we've heard that before. That's why it was originally split. And it doesn't matter what people think. Well, look, I'm going to tell you right now, what we not going to do is litigate that shit. Because
why should we care, bro? Why should we care? We want our numbers up. We want our numbers up too. We just fell fucking third in the population. We are no longer the main minority group in this country, and we got the nerve to be trying to count other niggas' numbers. Get our numbers up. What the fuck is wrong with niggas, bro?
What we're talking about.
That's not even
what I'm talking about.
That is what we're talking about. Do you want your numbers up or not?
I'm not about to start muting people, like, for real, because see what is gonna, because see, and this is. And go ahead, Mike. And then go ahead, Mike, and then Black Mind.
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback on your point about the other manosphere. Somebody has an echo. If you can mute up, please. That's why Thugtition originally came over to what we call Manosphere 1.0, was because the men's rights activists, the white men's rights activists, the MRAs, still had racist views about black men being involved in the MRA movement itself. This was back in 2008, 2007. And so what Thugtition came to the conclusion was that black men need to organize against the system and not the women, because the women aren't the problem at this point. And what was being discussed back then was drafting bills and legislation to actually attack some of these wedge issues that were actually impacting Black men, mainly, and not worry so much about what the white MRAs or the white MGTOWs were complaining about. Because if you go to a MGTOW forum, at least back then on the old
This is
Reddit,
why I wish BGS was here, but go ahead.
So the women aren't the problem right now, Mike?
Hold
The women aren't
on.
the
Let
problem?
Mike finish his point.
Right. And so some of the issues that were impacting Black men were really coming from the system itself, and they were trying to figure out ways of how to actually push back collectively against it. But what you have here is that people now don't focus on the system, they focus on the symptoms, which is what Thugtician was trying to say. Don't focus on the symptoms, such as a runny nose. Focus on the source of the issue, which would be the flu or some other sort of disease that might be causing that issue. And so I think what's happening in this space, like I said earlier, is that a lot of guys are clinging on to the term of conservative without actually understanding the history of it and trying to weaponize it against what they consider to be the left.
No, Mike
which
V,
are Black
Mike
men.
V, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not the issue. The issue is they don't care. The issue
Who-
is
who
they
doesn't
don't
care?
They just like how you this is where the bridge really comes in.
Mhm.
You see that it's a system, it's really the deal with the system, you gotta
Mhm.
change the system. And there's dudes that see the women as the first step in dealing with that system. Meaning and this is where BGS would be great, because when policies are trying to be installed, when policies get installed to address this shit, before the white boys can kill it, the bitches do.
All right,
And
man. I got a question for you, Ed.
Hold on.
All
The
right.
bitches do. So even when you look at when BGS talked about the school thing in these cities, it's the bitches doing that. And here's another problem. Now when I say bitches, I don't mean just females. I mean dudes. They want. It's not like, okay, we can get the majority of Black men to have a collective front, and then if the women don't like something, they're gonna what they call it when the 300 would create that big old shield. They're not going to do that. The phalanx up. No, they're going to peel off on their side. When they hear them do, they're going to assume, they're emotionally led. So a lot of what we do is to get the dudes off of that shit. And so I see, hold on. What I see what you talk about is you're trying to figure out you're trying to talk like you can just en route that. The Black vote has always been strong, united. Black men do not have the capability of if your women have a different political agenda as you, Black men are stuck. Because we don't have the numbers.
No, we gotta blow up the Black vote.
From a political standpoint. But go ahead, man. Hold on. Go ahead, man, and then I'll let Mike rebuttal, and I'll get you hood conservative.
No, Black Mind was before me.
Okay, Black.
No, I was going to say, isn't that where the conservatives are saying they're going to the right? And we're like, hey, if you're going to the right and you're going to split the Black vote, that's fine, but you got to organize. And that's where it falls flat on its face. It goes back to dudes are really just focused on the women, not really the policy, or MOT's position is, hey, don't even deal with the women at all. If that
okay,
matters.
so...
Well, I mean, that's a MGTOW argument, and Black men have already rejected that early on. But hold on. I want to get Black Mind in here, and then I'll jump to you, Trey.
All right.
I think it was Mike M that said exactly what I came on to say. First off, is my voice coming through clearly?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, excellent. For the most part, as a language teacher, I get students that ask me all the time about really loaded words in English. I'm talking about my good students that listen to news in both languages and that sort of thing, and they'll ask me about certain words in English that have these political meanings. And I have to tell them the difference between what a word starts off meaning versus how it's used in today's time in the popular culture or in politics. And I learned to do that even before I became a teacher because of how we start to change them around. And they have the same thing in Arabic too, to be fair. So I understand the linguistic component as to why there's even a debate between Edward Anderson and MOT in the first place. Most people that are colonized or kidnapped, they have a very stark view of how to speak. There's a lot of fluidity that we don't want to hear about, because if we're going to discuss how to make something better for ourselves, then it's very necessary for such groups to have very clearly defined terms. And the same thing goes for the ones who colonize or kidnap and are concerned about maintaining law and order over the ones whom they colonize and kidnap, because they don't want the people whom they colonize to get justice. So very staunch conservative, law and order, right-wing Caucasians are going to have the same thing. They don't want to hear you misuse a word. They don't even want to hear you say a word with too much breath in your voice, like the way that lady did at the Fresh and Fit podcast with Mr. Organic when she started talking about, I bring feminine inspiration. Even that tone of voice, they don't want to hear you say it because you sound unsure. So both of us tend to share that, ironically, for opposite reasons. And you'll notice if you watch a movie and you hear effective military or law enforcement teams using their jargon, they're not debating over what the terms mean. They're not asking you, what are you talking about? They may say, repeat that over, you're not coming through, and that's about it. And that's because they understand the need to have clearly defined terms. We're doing the same thing because we're going through this right now because we're trying to reach that same level of communication that they have. Because we're trying to use the terms of a group of people that can't look at us as equals to describe our own predicament and how to get out of it. And I'm just saying all of this to say that MOT can bring up a valid point about a need to have our own terms with clear definitions without insulting Edward for not single-handedly inventing such needed terms without consulting with other Black folks first. Do we need to have clear definitions that aren't politically loaded per se, or that aren't loaded beyond what we're trying to talk about? Yeah, that's a valid point, but he didn't have to insult Edward Anderson because Edward's using pre-existing terms to describe something as best he possibly can, because if he just invents a new word no one's ever heard before, nobody would understand.
And I appreciate that, Black Mind. Also, make sure you do a cash app to the Edward Anderson Grifter Fund at
I would if it worked here.
Allen 100 Allen 100K. No, I'm talking about the chat as well, since I'm a grifter. Cool. But the biggest thing that annoy me, it would piss me off, is he wants to take that and anybody on here think I'm trying to create a conservative political channel for the method of generating more views, more money, more subscribers. Does anybody think that?
Nah, man. Let me jump on this, Edward.
Hold on. Black Mind, were you done? I wanted to, because Black Mind is in my Telegram. A lot of y'all don't know that. So Black Mind hears what I say even offline. So he knows, he can tell you I'm not out here. There ain't no hidden agenda. But finish your thought and then we'll jump to the next person.
Well, to answer that, yeah, I do hear you in Telegram. I don't see you right on Discord as much, even though it's your Discord channel, but I hear and see what you say and what you write offline. And by the way, Don Calypso and I are going to continue to tease you and make jokes about you. We're going to continue to clown you for a little bit. You know the reason why, but it's just jokes. But I'll tell the audience straight away, no, this is not a political agenda per se, at least certainly not one that's going to favor one political party over the other in the two-party system. When it comes to politics, one thing about which he and I have a meeting of the minds on is that politically speaking, we're simply not white. We're not pro-white. We don't so much care about them. And I'm actually more militant against them than Edward Anderson is. But I can even say that, no, he's not one of these that has a so-called Democrat or Republican agenda, or an agenda that would favor any of the sub-parties around them, like the Tea Party or any opposite to them. That's not it. We're using pre-existing terms to try to describe Black men's political needs or non-political needs, either one. And most of the time, when I hear Edward talk about politics, he'll give an observation and he doesn't actually push a particular thing most of the time, with a few exceptions, like when he says that actually abortion should not be allowed when you have all these other methods of birth control. That's about as political as I've heard him get. So I want to clear that up for the audience. That's what I can honestly observe with my own two eyes and my own two ears. And I'm pretty much done, man. Thanks a million, Edward.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and the main reason why, even with the abortion thing, I say, when you look at our population, the population that we've lost, and I've also added in the fact of the matter of, what the laws have done to get a lot of Black men opting out of the market. The point is, the biggest thing is with MOT in that video, and I didn't even get to it, but he kind of reaffirmed it, was he wants to basically say what my intentions are. That's what nullifies when a lot of people try to explain what he was doing. He's applying my intentions to theirs, and we're not talking about somebody he knows me. That's the thing. So he's heard me talk offline. So he really out here thinking like I'm sitting here trying to create a channel and do all of that. So he put all, and that's where that word grifter comes in. And it's like, dude, you're doing that so you can justify going at me, but it's really irresponsible when you know how many people don't like me just cause. So it's like you want to start up some dust up, and that's some irresponsible shit. Just like if I would have started talking shit about somebody knowing that somebody doesn't like them, and then now I'm bringing a lot of problems to them, there's accountability for that. But go ahead, the next person wanted to jump.
I was just going to say
that was me.
Yeah, I was just
go
ahead,
say, Mike, and then Trey.
No, I was just going to say it would behoove you to actually listen to it offline to try to get a better perspective of what he was saying.
Well, he gave me an idea what it for. I mean, shit, he tried to bum rush me on this bitch.
Well, he actually said in that video that he wasn't beefing with you.
Yeah, I got to that part, and I'm not beefing with him. But that isn't just like with Solo. When Solo tried to come at me and cuss me out of nowhere, I just now started to get cool with him. The reality is, it's not. You're not like, this is some unprovoked shit. That's what this is. And another thing to keep in mind is I got less than 5,000 subs. Like the kinetic impact, come on, man. And to be fair, most of the dudes that talk a lot of this in that conservative shit was talking about don't have have that many subs either. So I'll give that. I'll see that. But it's kind of like all this intention, and now we about to start this bullshit and all that. Come on, man. That was him reaching. But go ahead, Trey.
Well, I just want to chime in.
I'll eventually listen to it though. Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah. As far as the whole conservative thing, man, we've been rocking with this shit. Like me, the conservative, our crew, man, we've been rocking with this for a minute. We've been this way. We've never changed, never switched up the game. But all of a sudden, here's the deal, man. This current administration is taking mad L's. And all of a sudden, cats like the nigga from the future want to come over and ride the conservative train. And I don't know why he coming at you, Ed, but here's the deal. Everything he was preaching before was progressive, and now he want to come at you because all of a sudden, anything conservative in his eyes has got to be attacked. And I dare anybody. I put money up. Anybody to argue anything against what me and the hood conservatives say, what we preach over there on our channels and our little space on the internet, I put money up against it. It's this: if you go against anything we say, you're aligning with the Strag. You're aligning with the Lil Nas X lovers. You're aligning with the alphabet community, the abortion lovers. We ain't saying nothing other than against all that BS. But here's the thing: is that we rocking true individualism. Man, I don't give a fuck what the next guy is doing. I don't give a fuck about group economics, nothing. You go out there and get your own. You go out there and fuck whatever chick you want to fuck. You go out there and rock whatever people you want to fuck with. Do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, if you're going to rock conservative values, you got to understand right and wrong, cause and effect, being on time. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. All that stuff the Smithsonian said was racist. Now, anybody up here can call Tatum, ABL, Candace Owens, grifters, whatever. But I dare anybody to pick up Candace Owens' book, Blackout, and go against anything in there, because it says everything the manosphere have been talking about for 15 years. And as far as the white boys over on the whole manosphere at large, why is it that the top content creators over there are black dudes? If there's all this racism, because because why? Number one, because they have those numbers and people want and see. Here's the problem. Like, even they see it, they just don't talk about it. Like, just like how they went at Donovan Sharp the first opportunity they had. A lot of it is not outright racism. It's sexual competition. And again, so what? Fuck a better bitch. Well, get a better bitch. But the problem is, look, I'm gonna just say it like this. I'm not here to tell the motherfuckers not to listen to folks, or listen to white manosphere people. But everybody always I've had this conversation with Zero. Everybody just said, well, black men, they want to they can't let go of this zaddy bullshit, and they just need to basically get up under white boys and submit to the. Look, the truth is, these white boys ain't doing shit with really when it comes to. Why you got to get up on the white boy? Why you just can't do it? Because that's what they expect. Ain't no white boy gonna tell me what to do. Ain't no white boy can tell you what to do. And that is why we split off, because they didn't know how to not do that. Because that's white boys over there chilling right now. You can straight up say that CGA, basically Coach Greg Adams, is the top motherfucker over there right now. Nah, he got everybody. That's what y'all say. I'm just looking at the numbers. That's the numbers. That's what the numbers show right
Coach
now.
Greg Adams don't got Coach Greg Adams ain't creating his own shit. He ain't got his own as far as his own convention. Like he ain't running it over there. He may be
What
doing
you need a
well
convention for?
Again. Here's the one thing that's not gonna happen. This is where y'all start to step out of turn. Because you don't think you're doing this, but you actually doing a similar thing MLT's doing. You're just doing it in a more passive way. And this is where a lot of the the black conservatives kind of fucked up in the manosphere in the first place. Where and SYSBM does this. Every group tries to make a play to try to take control.
There is no control, Edward.
Of all of the manosphere. And so I'm more of a pragmatic guy. I understand, the kind of methodologies on both things, but at the same time, folks go, I'm right. When nobody is like 100% right.
But Edward, what does individualism have to do with control? It's basically you do your own shit.
Okay,
that's us over here.
Yeah, okay. And did I say? But hold on. Did I say to any black men shouldn't listen to any of the white boys? I didn't say that. So you the one trying to tell. Hold on, you're trying to convince the group to basically do what? Not have a black manosphere?
No, I just said rock with.
No, you pick that.
You pick what you want to pick. If you pick and choose who you want to listen to. If I don't want to listen to freaking MOT, I won't. If I want to just listen to BGS, I'll listen to BGS.
Okay, so why is that? How is that different? So what I'm trying to understand is, when I talk about why we created our own shit. We didn't ever put a contingency saying that if you listen to the white boys, fuck you. We didn't say that. We just created our own shit.
I haven't seen that over there.
Like you got any
contentious points over there.
Okay, well, we're gonna agree to disagree because my thing is, here's the thing: you got dudes that they're gonna say, okay, it don't exist, hear no evil, see no evil. That's fine. And I leave it to individual audience members to make their own judgment calls on that. Because a lot of people say what you say. Oh, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Okay, great. Then go listen to them. That's cool.
Well, Ed, can I ask you a deeper question that has nothing to do with?
But the majority of folks agree with me on that.
Fair enough. I don't want to argue that so much. I want to ask you a slightly different question, and it's more about it's a social political sort of argument because the white manosphere and the black manosphere, to the extent that they're separate entities, I feel like they're running on parallel tracks. And so I want to just rip the scab off and ask the blunt question, like, if your politics, if the decisions that you want to make politically would somehow have you standing with the white boys, would you refuse to make those decisions?
No, because that's a case-by-case basis. If the shit crosses streams, then you're not gonna have that problem. You can look at the last election.
That's the problem, though. But I think that's exactly the problem with the black manosphere.
When have you seen that? When have you?
I'll tell you, Edward. Last year, 2020, before all these niggas started getting themselves clapped by the cops, everybody was basically in line that basically 45 was the only way out of this. And we seeing, that held true. But basically 45 was the only way out of what we're encountering now with the current administration and which way things are going in this country. But all of a sudden, when these niggas started getting clapped and the color came in, oh, hell no, racism. Oh, hell no, niggas getting killed. Oh, we got to vote for freaking pedophiles. And
those arguments were had way before 45. So people never came off of those decisions. See, what happened?
You asked me for an example. Though, Edward, last year was the example. I gave you an example.
But that was when again y'all assumed that, and this is why folks think they can take a hold of the space. Them folks like Doug Tishon and all of that, they would have never agreed to that. Like there's been people that's been in this space for a minute that was never on. Let
me point something out. Somehow or another, the same guys who would hate us for taking the quote-unquote right-wing stance on issues like all the black shootings are now aligned politically. Everything they do politically puts them in the same camp with the black women that we all talk about all the time.
Well,
so
talking
I'm
about
looking at that juxtaposition.
I'm
just saying the correlation matters. That's all.
This is what y'all fail to understand. Y'all think y'all the first crop. Y'all not. O'Shea and Obsidian came before you all. O'Shea was on the conservative tip, and Obsidian with the Park apism and all of that. Y'all are not the first. Hold on. Anthony Brian Logan was in this space a lot heavier. I was on the same panels as Brandon Tatum. Y'all are like multiple times. Y'all are not the first. So these conversations. Hold on. Because
what's the problem?
The problem is these conversations have already been had before. So when you all make it like, oh, well, people just switched up. No, they didn't. The conversations had already been had. People said what it was, and ain't nobody really name me one person that they have just like straight up flipped. They flip back and forth.
Nobody has flipped from our side, Edward. On our side, nobody has flipped.
Well, I said anybody.
Nobody has flipped from our side.
No.
The problem is that everybody is trying to come over to our side now. That's the point of this video and MOT's video.
Okay, great.
Gentlemen, I have to ask a question because I got to run. I got to jump off. So I apologize for interrupting. But Edward, you said that previously, because I got to go ahead and start getting ready for work. It's morning time here. You said that you were previously talking about what things that Amira did not know. Is that right, Edward?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask what video that was? Because I'll listen to that when I'm getting ready.
Well, it wasn't a video. I'm talking about all the rhetoric I've heard her say overall. Like, and so it's
I mean, your video. Which one of your uploads or live streams were you talking about this? And I'll listen to you.
I think it was the last. It was the last video. It was the last video.
Okay, all right. The one to which MOT was first responding.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Your last live stream.
Yeah.
Thanks a million. All right, gentlemen, y'all have a good one. Always good to talk to you, Mr. Anderson. Don't work yourselves too hard. Thanks a million, man.
Yeah, because at the end, because I don't really have a brand to push in that way. A lot of y'all want to be, well, everybody needs to get on this and get on that. Because I think our issues operate outside of that. Because the white boys don't have a gynocracy problem. We do. They have a problem with women gaining power. We have a problem where our women are already there.
Okay.
Real quick,
David, real quick. Hey, bro, here's the thing, Edward. Over here, bro, there is no our women. There is no we women. There is none of that. My women that I mess with is my woman at home.
Context of the
I know what you're saying
as we see it.
And here's the beef, Edward, is that conservatives like myself, conservatives like Tatum, Owens, ABL, with drives freaking wedges and pisses a lot of people off, is that we're like, fuck that color shit. Man, we just had the whole freaking manosphere get hijacked by, discussing Anton for 3 days because he said fuck color.
He was just the manosphere person of the week. He didn't
but you know how the 72-hour flow goes in the black manosphere.
Yeah, but again, this is what y'all, and it's like, it's something.
But what's wrong with that, Edward? What's wrong with saying fuck color? We're just gonna ride as Americans.
I did not say there was. I didn't say there was, but like everything, you gotta understand, everything you say, I really gotta say this straight up. It's like you're a fucking gravity well. Like, I don't think you really understand it and how you communicate. It's like you're like a fucking black hole where you're trying to suck me in. Like the it's like, I'm trying, prove me this, 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 prove me. Nigga, I'm not even trying to make it that serious. And it was like I said, MOT did the same shit. You don't even do this. You don't even do this.
Well, MOT is trying to be like me, man. He's like my favorite fanboy, so he's trying to be like.
Right, and see, and again,
can I point out what that is?
All that bullshit, but damn.
Now, can I point out what that is? Ideas actually have their own locus of gravity. And if you're going to focus on two opposing ideas, you have to pick a side. That's what you're experiencing.
The problem is you're trying to tell me a certain reality, and everything you're saying is not 100% on point. And it's like you're trying to flip me over to what the fuck you're saying. This is why I said initially, a lot of y'all have this thing where y'all want to take over the sphere, and then this is what creates the fucking pushback.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna give you a simple fucking test and tell me if I'm crazy. If you're going to complain about all this gynocracy and all the strag behavior and all the criticisms that we have of black women, but you still vote to empower these bitches, are you red pill or not?
It depends on what you define as voting to empower them. You define that as
Bro,
voting for the Democratic
no,
Party.
it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated,
No,
my
some
nigga.
people would
Stop.
say, Mike
Stop.
would
It is
say,
very
hold on,
clear at
let
this
me
point.
know, let me be very
We
clear.
ain't in the 60s no more.
Hold
We
on,
are in
hold on. I'm
2021.
hold on. I'm about
The
to tell
lines
you,
are simple.
dude. I'm about to tell you straight up. Some people would say that if you don't vote, because some people say, well, I'm not gonna vote Republican, I'm just not gonna vote. Oh, well, you're empowering them by not voting. So you're the one that's trying to make it like an either or, so you can therefore get somebody to do what the fuck you want to do. Because there's a lot of people that believe a vote of no confidence is a vote in and of itself.
I will accept that. Personally, I will accept that. I'm not gonna put that on you.
And a lot of people
But if you're gonna,
go ahead.
if your views, if the things you fight for, if you're in a personal argument just between two people, if the position that you hold puts you on the side of the bitches more often than not, then I question how much of the red pill you really took. Simple as that. Because either you understand or you don't. Men need more political power for our own political purposes or not. This is the same thing I noticed with the person that we're arguing over tonight. Like, bro, I watch you talk to white boys on their fucking channel and agree with them that men need their own fucking political views. Men need to have their own political voice. But you get on the fucking black manosphere and argue against black men who say the same fucking shit. And you agree with white boys about this shit. And I'm sitting here arguing with you all day about this. My nigga, no, it's not that hard to get. We have a certain problem and it's very gendered and it has a political angle to it.
You believe that white boys and black boys have a common issue.
Yes.
We have very critical common issues.
David.
Very critical. Not all, but certain ones that are fucking critical.
Hold on real quick, Edward. I lived that life for 21 years. Freaking leading soldiers of every race, nationality, and I saw men of every color go through this.
With this shit.
Edward, because guess what? We've been around the world and been around everybody else. Edward, that shit didn't exist there. The only way it existed, the only way it existed is in people's minds.
The military is an enclosed system that can force and punish you all for operating out of that.
Here's the deal. Edward, here's the deal. The word conservative itself has got a lot of brothers triggered over here. That's all it is.
Yeah, but that's what y'all that's what y'all see. That's what y'all leaning on today. That's what y'all leaning on today. But the thing about it is,
we've always been that way, Edward. We have never switched up. Never. You look at my content, David's content, our content has never flip-flopped. You don't hear anybody calling us progressive, a liberal, making hate. No, you always see people going in on us because we're conservative.
Bro,
that's it.
As soon as I made my name conservative, I had beef.
And DM, you are respectfully blocked. Talking about I'm a social reject. These niggas. Again, yo, like, and a lot of y'all got this tunnel vision, and it's like y'all can't see it. The thing about it is, the white boy, we may have similar issues, but the reality is their solutions don't include you in them. And
bro, how is that, Edward? How has that affected you? Because it's affected me quite well. The white boy solutions, man, got me paid like a motherfucker. Got me rid of my freaking Strag X. Got me around here just chilling now.
So give me an example of the white boy solutions, the white boy policies.
Bruh, here's the deal. I went and I formed an LLC.
That's not a white boy solution.
It's an American solution. And as y'all like to call it over here, all that patriotism, all that Americanism is some white boy stuff. Now, challenge me on that you haven't heard this in this space. When the last time you heard cats over here big up in patriotism, big up in the United States,
first of all,
big
that
up in the
has
military?
nothing to do with the LLC. Glendon Cameron, somebody.
Come on, man.
Hold on, time out.
Glendon.
This is about my fucking channel.
Yeah, you
not like
Glendon.
all this other bullshit that y'all.
Where does Glendon stick his dick at? Where does Glendon stick his dick at? I've been following Glendon for a minute.
Okay, yeah, Glendon fucks white. He says he doesn't fuck white, but he's also married. He married a black woman and has a kid with a black woman. So I mean, you're bringing like I don't know what patriotism is not a solution.
So like, you got beef with being American. Okay, so forming an LLC is an American thing. What other country can you go to?
You can hate America and still form an LLC.
Okay, but it's an American thing. Forming an LLC to shield your assets from your ex fucking Strag. Now, what other country can you do that in?
What are you talking about forming an LLC to get away from your
So here's the
swag?
thing. You want to daggone take advantage of all these wonderful things that the United States provides you. Like, you know, and you're telling me, okay, what
Shit,
did you do?
liberals take advantage of it too.
Okay, then
all
boom.
American.
So what's the problem? So what's the problem with
like liberal doesn't mean anti-American.
Here's the thing. But right now, yes, right now liberal does
Hell,
mean
the gynocracy
anti-Americanism.
is an anti-American.
These black chicks hate fucking goddamn on America right now.
What?
They burnt. Yes.
Did
these
you
black
just
chicks hate
say
America.
that black women hate America?
Okay, show me where. All this BLM burning the American flag and all this stuff. Yes,
black,
I did.
That's not all. Number one, every black woman ain't like the nigga.
Come on, bro.
Come on, man.
Bro,
dude.
come on, man. The majority, bro. It's a high majority.
Black men support Black Lives Matter just like black women.
Hey, I don't. Fuck them. Fuck black.
Well,
You support Black Lives Matter?
You are one black man.
So you support Black Lives.
Dude, my problem is you're bringing a lot of rhetoric or bullshit in here.
Hey, bro, it's on their website.
It's like you don't know how to not do it. Like,
bro,
my shit has nothing to do with all of that.
You asked me for an example. I gave you one. Back to the LLC. I formed an LLC to keep my assets away from my ex-drag. Boom, right there.
That's not uniquely. I mean, you can form an LLC in other countries as well. And here's another thing. True. Hold on. Other countries don't necessarily have child support the same way. Most countries you can't even abort like that. So there's a lot of things. Hold on. There's a lot of things that the women can't tap in other countries that they can uniquely tap here that pave the way for you have to do what the fuck you have to do in the first place.
So are you a passport bro? Are you preaching to brothers to go overseas?
I have a passport.
Are you a passport bro though?
Are you telling brothers
hold on. Can we actually
that
tone
has
it
zero
down
to do with conservatism.
Yeah, then let me actually dial it back to something a little bit more basic. All right, the problem, like abortion. You just mentioned abortion. If black men are against abortion, and you actually wanted to move against abortion politically or economically or socially, that puts you in a certain category. And so, if you embrace the arguments from that element, I don't see why we have such a hard time just accepting what it is.
Again. First of all, number one, black men, personally, most black men don't even give a shit on that argument. I make the case that black women don't need it because it'll dial back feminism, and we've seen what they do with it. But see, here's the problem. If I say we lose population, now I'm talking about that community shit, which MOT said, well, if you're trying to save the strag, which, okay, is every black woman a strag? Again, my shit is not here to say this is what we need to do. It's sitting here to outline the cards. See, the problem that I'm having is I'm sitting here laying the cards out. It's up to black men so black men better understand them. It's up to you what the fuck you want to do. Because the big problem here is a lot of black men are operating on autopilot. My channel is to get you to be the driver in your own destiny, not you. It's kind of like, okay, think of it like Christianity, where you'll say, well, why are you a Christian? You go to church? No, this isn't, but you believe God? Yeah, why? Because that's what I grew up with. This is how the gynocracy works. My job is to say, I don't personally give a fuck what you do, but you got an inhibitor chip, and I'm here to tell you what that is, how that fucks you up, so you can be empowered to do what the fuck you want to do. I know the law of numbers, most likely they're going to do in the range of what I think should be done, as far as at least in the range or in that direction, if they understand how it benefits them. Because what these niggas are doing now is just an autopilot. But I don't sit there and really tell them what to do. You all are actually low key saying this is what you should do, and this is what
Furthest from that, bro. Furthest from that. We are focused on. Give me a second, David.
Everything about you, what you have said, has been trying to flip me into what you're talking about.
I don't want to flip you.
Everybody sees that. It's like you can't hear that. Maybe that's your default.
I'm focused on hyper individualism.
Get on this motherfucker. If name is someone,
I'm focused. First thing I said is niggas can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Hyper individualism, and to me, it sounds like what you just said. You're focused on that too. Now, if I tell a brother, hey, this is what worked for me. Hey, you can try, but at the end of the day, go out and do you.
Yeah, but see, that you know, well, you red pill, you this, you that. Well, that shouldn't even enter the conversation.
Well, fine.
Do you have a passport? Do you have this? You have that?
I don't speak to the passport. Let me address the whole red pill thing for a second, because I'm actually more about the philosophy of what we're talking about, because I want to actually, even if I keep going back to politics, so be it, because political philosophy is necessary if we're going to continue to be a black manosphere. We need to actually have a political debate about actual politics that has nothing to do with white people. how do you want to be governed? What rules do you want to live under? And most of us in this space that we call the Black manosphere, we don't like the concept of the family court. We don't like the concept of the child support system as it's currently used. So we have a certain kind of commonality. And I'm not disagreeing with what you said about what your job is on your channel or
Yeah,
what
and
you
by
want
the
to
way,
present.
Sweet Jones, I'm not a hyper individualist. I'm actually the one that came up with the term phrase hyper individualism in the community, by the way, the manosphere. So I'm not a hyper individual. But go ahead.
Well, the point I was going.
hold on.
Let me just end. Let me end real quick. The
Because I
point I
have a
wanted to end
particular
off with,
definition
Edward.
for hyper individualism. Go ahead.
That aside, the point I wanted to end with is why is it so hard to accept that our political philosophy as men is very distinct from where the women are, and we just have to move in that
I don't
direction.
have a problem with accepting that, and I think most of the people listening to me do.
Are most Black women conservative? There you go. It's simple.
No.
I'm telling you, it's
Not
very
at this
simple.
point. Not at this point.
So if they're not conservative and we're not like them, what does that say about us? Yeah, if they're not conservative and we're not like them and we kind of don't like what they're on, that leaves us on a very extreme polar opposite, and we kind of have to accept that reality and then move. We don't have to join up arm in arm with the white boys, but we have to make our own space on that side. Even if that means carving out a fucking unique space, then so be it.
See,
but
and
don't act like we got to be tethered to the other side.
This is where you messed up right there. Again, y'all keep on adding in on that side. What do you define as on that side? What do you mean when you say that?
The bicameral politics of American culture. There are no
Are you talking about the
3
party?
or 4 parties. I'm talking about the party and the culture at this point, because there's starting to be a distinct divide between party and culture. So you take it however you want.
So do you think there's room outside of that paradigm as you've said it?
Just a little bit.
And there lies the problem.
How?
See, the problem is this is the issue. This is why, and this is one of the reasons I approach it the way I approach it. It's almost, and this is why I use the term hyper individualism, because it's like a blind spot. It's like folks want people to have an intended outcome, but they don't know how to get to the outcome outside of the way they define it. So this is interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, because when I said most Black men and BGSs agree with this are traditionally conservative. Now the and when I say conservative, we're talking about how as far as doing all of the hood redneck shit. But we know what smoking weed, doing all of that. We know what the fuck we're talking about when we say that. And so what happened with MOT took a and see, it's a problem, because when he's sitting there going back and forth with you all, this is probably why he went Tourette's on me, because with you all is defined as you're either going to go with the program is how you all outline it or you're not. And so I'm not operating that way. I'm pretty much saying that you can either operate as an individual, you can support them, or you can push to where you need.
That's what we say.
Yeah, and the problem is you all want to define what those rules are, and people are seeing that as telling them what to do.
Definitions require. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but definitions matter. And so if you do these certain things, it does leave you in a certain position, whether you like it or not. If I lie, cheat, and steal, that makes me a liar, a cheater, and a thief, whether I like it or not. So the definitions matter.
Consequences actions have consequences, bro. That's a simple conservative principle right there. It's gone over the heads of the community.
But a lot of dudes will say, I'm living my life, fuck the politics, fuck the politics. I'm just not gonna engage in none of that. I'm living my life a certain type of way, point blank period. I'm not gonna deal with any female that acts like a strag. I'm gonna Theo. I wish Theo I should have brought Theo was like this. I'm doing me. Fuck what y'all talk about as far as you, because you niggas I ain't talking about you two, but I'm talking about Black men in general. Black men are not serious, so I'm doing my own shit. I do this, but as far as you people wanting to co-opt somebody in their movement to fix the shit, I'm not interested in that. That's how a lot of dudes operate. So when they hear what you're saying to recruit them, it's like you're trying to recruit them into what you think is their shit and say, well, we agree on the same thing. No, not necessarily. And that's for different reasons. Some people think it can't be fixed. Some people think that I understand the gynocracy, I understand the racism, so I'm just doing my own thing. I'm not going to sit here because, like, for instance, shout out to Mr. Fantastic. Fantastic can't see the racism, but he can see the gynocracy. And there's the flip side, people can see the racism.
Bro, show me the racism, Edward. Show me the racism, Edward. Show me the racism.
You know what? I'm not.
Whoa, Ed.
Because you can't, bro. Because there's nothing you can show me right now that there's racism, bro. Anything you can talk of is daggone fictitious, bro. I've listened to you for 4 years. All that racism you talk of is fictitious.
And I will leave the audience to determine that. I'm not going
right. Speaking of the audience, I bet if you were to take a manosphere wide poll,
hold on, Trey, and I'll take it on my channel. Hold on, go ahead, Hood. What do you say?
There would be an even split if you would poll: is racism or feminism the biggest impediment to black male success in America right now in 2021? You would find an interesting split in the manosphere.
I disagree.
I'm just saying that there would be an interesting split. It would be close to 50-50.
No.
Where's the racism?
No. It's not how you think.
Racism, bro?
It's how you think. Feminism would actually beat racism.
Feminism would beat racism all day.
Hold on, Trey. Stop.
No, you examine that. No, you examine that, Ed. If feminism beats racism, you examine that.
That's what they think on my channel because I talk about the gynocracy on my channel. Because that's what I say. I don't say on my channel that you got to deal with racism first. I say on my channel you got to deal with the gynocracy first. That doesn't mean you link up with the white boys though. There's multiple ways.
So Edward, question. So
hold on, time out, Trey. Because the white boys are the ones that instituted this bullshit in the first place, which is what feminism is really coming to bite them in the ass. So that's what y'all don't want to understand. Now, Trey, I want to make it. Hold on. Now it's time for you. So I just want to be clear on your position. You're saying that racism doesn't exist, correct?
Bro, and I'm saying, here's the thing, bro. Racism exists to the individual level.
Racism is not an individual thing. Racism is a group concept.
Who's the most racist folks in 2021?
So as a group,
who's the most racist people in 2021?
As a group, well, who is?
Who is? I'm asking you straight. Who do you see the most racist acts come from in 2021?
Yeah, that's what Amira said. Amira said black people are the most racist.
Black women hate everybody right now.
All the problems that the manosphere talks about, the biggest culprit of those problems is black women.
Black women got their back to the
there's
wall,
your enemy right there,
world, bro.
First of all, the definition of racism. The reason why the definition of racism is the power to do something to another group. That's what you're talking about is prejudice. You're not talking about racism.
Bro, what power does anybody have to do to another group right now?
Very important distinction.
How many black women got elected to federal and local government this election cycle? I mean, that black woman power is starting to
but that doesn't understand something.
It's starting to solidify. It's going to cement. It's going to concrete.
The gynocracy is powered by white supremacy. When you remove that element, it can't stand. So y'all keep looking at stuff surface level.
If we keep siding with them, what are we doing? What good are we if we're going to keep siding with them? They powered by white supremacy, and we change them.
Who is we? I haven't sided with them.
To the extent that black men and black women are together in any sort of way,
that's a Mike V question.
I know, but if we're going to be chained to them,
80% of black men and 91% of black women.
And there's a difference between siding with black women and the problem is you all are making it you either believe in racism and siding black women or you don't believe in racism and
black women are using racism. Black women are using racism as a sword and shield, and we're just gonna stand behind them.
That's what I talk about on my channel. Yeah, and
we're gonna stand behind them as they just hold us back. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm so fucking stupid. I should keep going for this shit. I'm not. I just won't.
What I say on my channel is that black men need to take inventory on how they invest into the things that don't serve them and then act accordingly. The problem is dudes are in denial about that.
Denial about what, Edward? I did all of that, bro. In 2010, walked completely away from my strategy.
I mean, you know what you're talking about.
But hold on, here's the deal, bro. There's a whole lot of brothers like me out there that completely walked away from all this black shit, who are conservative and just happen to be black, and their lives are quite great. None of this racist bullshit ever exists.
I'm not speaking to them. First of all,
why shouldn't brothers take that approach?
And another
why shouldn't brothers take that approach?
Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't. But see, the problem is you define that as a movement for what you want them to do versus
No,
I just said that.
It's
You trying
advice.
to have
an
it
example.
both ways.
No, I don't. I don't want it your way, bro. I don't want it that blackety
I
black
said
way.
both ways.
I don't want it both ways. I put it out there to brothers. Hey, this works. It works very well. Look at Tatum. Look at ABL. You may call them grifters, but their lives are very
That's
good.
not what they do. What it would Tatum
Look at
and
BCP.
that's not what they
Their
do.
lives are very good.
That's not
They're
what
living
they
good.
do.
They're
Man.
eating good. What's wrong with that? They're eating good.
That's what they. So basically, Tatum and them all what they both have in common is they have a white audience. And they basically hit on the black community, whatever convenient, in order to satiate the white
niggas
audience.
do fucked up shit, bro. Niggas, they hit on liberals. I hit on freaking dead. Niggas do fucked up shit. Ock Nation, he hits on the shit, bro. Niggas do. You don't get
give
more
me
hood
some
than us.
motherfuckers. Can you give me some motherfuckers outside of Tatum? And
Ock Nation, myself, Hood Conservative. We hit on the shit, and we got the hood card as far as it.
But you all are not talking about dudes living their best life. That's not really what you're talking about. Because when you bring
Do I have to talk about that?
when you bring cause think of who you brought up. You brought up Tatum and them. They live their best life because they speak against black people. That's why they make money off of it. So it's not like you talked about Roberts. Notice how you didn't bring up like Robert Smith or somebody like that. You brought not people that are actually okay. I'm not in this shit. You brought up people like you're saying that your side is the side, and you don't. It's like y'all don't understand that y'all are doing what fucking Africans do. When they fucking sit there and they speak against ADOS, but they want you in a Pan-Africanism because they directly benefit from it.
Bro,
Here's the deal, bro. Doing the same thing.
Okay, if we take Daquan in the hood, would Daquan be better going the Strag route over here to Manosphere, loving on all these Strags, or would he be better going? Would he be better going the conservative route?
False choice.
Why is it false? Why is it false?
It is not. You either fuck with the Strag or you do what I say.
I'm not telling you what to do. I just don't want you to fuck with the Strag. I just don't want you to do that. I'm not telling you what to do. I just don't hate. I hate to see you do that.
I got a question.
We just putting options out there, bro.
Why are you invested in Negroes not fucking? Why is it that you?
I'm not invested in it. I just don't want you to do it. I hate to see it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to spend money against you. I'm not going to talk bad about you unless you do something against me.
So what is the difference between that and what I do?
Because frankly, I don't think you and I have that much political difference as far as like direction of the channel or anything like that. I just want to make the point clear again for the millionth time that by your choices, you are walking down the conservative path, whether you like it or not. For some reason, the word conservatism is triggering for people.
That's an MOT
I'm not arguing with you about that. Yeah, that's an MOT thing. And again, I'm not putting that on you. I don't mean to at all. I'm just saying that's what kind of happened is that in the manosphere in general, MOT is not the only one. He's a figurehead for it, if anything. But there is a split where it's like, dude, why are you mad at the word? We do what we say, what we say.
Sweet Jones, yeah, and I'm not out here bothering y'all, but either. I just want to make that clear. But Sweet Jones says that Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam are conservative. Would you agree with that point?
Relatively, yes. They are, even though they tend to have, side with the Democrats.
They're running the changeabitch.org foundation. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're social, and even if you would get down to some of their politics, they would be conservative. If you put it like this, if they were a nation in their own right, we would look at them as very right wing. But because of the way American politics is, they have a weird place on the left. But they're conservative in a lot of ways that count. And so that's why I don't really talk shit about the Nation of Islam, even though politically I'm kind of not really a fan. But as a model for how black people could organize and be successful, the Nation of Islam has a proven model. You can at least give them that. And so it's a conservative thing for black people to join the NOI, yes.
And this is one of those silly comments right here that Arms Megadon brought up. Why in the hell would any brother be like red pill for black women and blue pill for that? Makes no sense. Well, but that's one of those types that don't understand the movement.
I don't mean to cut you off, but that's a phrase that I say. I say don't go red pill for black women, only to be blue pill for white non-black women. Because what a lot of dudes do is they say they get away from the strag, and then when I talk about getting with a strag white bitch and a strag black, ratty hair white people, what's time we talk, or one of them ace of spades white chicks. We're not talking about that. What I'm talking about is non-black women run different plays than black women run. Black women blitz. That's all they know how to do. White women, because of the situation they come from, where their men have more power, less than they had before, they are more passive in their stuff. They have to think a little bit more longer term than what black men are typically used to. So if you're immediately leaving a female and you think because the bitch is not black that there can never be problems, you're not protecting yourself against those problems. That is not to say to not deal with other women. That's just to say to make sure that you understand that you're still in America and you need to be smart. So because a lot of people get caught up.
I'll respond to that. Like like I said, as you know, I've been conservative, forever, raised by my dad. I just, let myself go, in my middle years. But I've been around the world. I've dealt with every race of women imaginable. And when you come at them like a man in your masculinity and with strict conservatism, all women fold.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're a black man and you grew up around like non-black people, that's a statement that wouldn't apply to you because you grew up around them, so you know how to get down. But if you're dealing with dudes that they first make that leap, they're thinking it's different. It's the same thing with going overseas. Going overseas, it ain't like there is no one size fits all solution for black men. You have to carve out what you want to. Now, yeah, I'll give you that certain solutions are going to be looked at in a certain type of, thought pattern. Sure. But, it's like I said, I don't do shit that's designed to tell men. The closest thing I do to tell men to keep it within the race is to take a hard look at intercultural dating. Because I know black men ain't really got a problem with the black female hardware. Well, outside when it's in shape. It's the software that's the issue. So a lot of black men, they see dating the bitches around them and they don't look around to maybe other women of other cultures. And again, I say that because the greatest power you have is the power of choice. I understand everybody ain't gonna have the immediate money to travel, so and then certain people are gonna appreciate certain things. So, I mean, yeah, is there a debate is there like a conversation needs to happen? Sure. Because a lot of people need to know how diverse the manosphere is. But because there's a lot, it's not so much it's either this or that. There's a lot of splinter groups. SYSBM is not the same as IGMOR, which is not the same as like where y'all are coming from with it. And then people want to make it loaded and bring the white, because even there's degrees to that. There's people that may be more socially conservative, but they know and they have no problem working with the white boys when it's a very clear directive that we know, like, this is the thing we're trying to deal with. But when it gets out of that, it's like it's a case-by-case basis because we know how they can get. And people, Darius McTowell, Coach Greg Adams, there's plenty of people that are over there, they're doing well, and then guess what? Dudes that listen to them, ain't nobody messing with them. And the only person that really started really talking shit was Jason Black, talking shit about them. Ain't nobody in the manosphere been really beating them up.
Can I ask you a direct question? Can I ask you a direct question, Ed? What you just said is
the Nation of Islam is political, sweet. Yes, they are. I don't know what you talking. They're not political. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. So as far as if you're willing to work with white guys when there is a clear directive and there are clear rules and obviously everybody understands their roles and
don't even be rules, just a clear directive. Like if you say let me give you an example. If we say, okay, marriage reform, if I start hearing any politician talking about marriage reform, to me, that's a votable issue. That's like a single votable issue in my opinion. Because if you get those laws changed, then that's a clear directive.
Now the question I want to go for is like, if you're willing to go that route, and you can work there, but outside of politics, you take it on a case by case basis, right? Isn't that the best? Isn't that the best you should ask for? Isn't that it?
And think about it this way. I work with white people and non-black people all the time. I'm not one of these dudes that's gonna be, oh, I can't just be around you, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if it's gonna be something where I'm gonna invest like that, then I'm gonna know what I'm getting out of this that month. I'm talking about is the group. It's the same thing as ADOS talks about or FBA, whatever the fuck somebody want to call it, when it comes to dealing with that Pan-African shit. It's like, look, if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna look at, okay, how does this benefit ADOS black men? Now it doesn't have to, like, for instance, this is where I always get Pan-Africanists caught the fuck up, especially from other countries. We know they can't economically give us anything equal. Like they usually they don't have that kind of money. But what they can do is they can start looking at, okay, so what's the citizenship looking like? An easy path to it. Because if we over there, we got money and not money that we making off of y'all money we got to bring to y'all. So why is it shouldn't be hard for a black man, honestly, to basically get a citizenship in a lot, especially these English speaking countries, especially these West African countries. They always want to be stupid. I don't know. The government, like, why? We're African American. We got money. So the shit.
Why would you though? You in the greatest country in the world. Why would a brother want to go over there?
Hold on. Well, we're talking about for the people that want to do that. So you may have a difference of opinion, but there's guys that do have that opinion. Some of them will say economically, because I'm not talking about changing the citizenship.
Show me the country.
Hold on,
show
Trey.
me the country where the
I'm talking about dual citizenship, and I ain't talking about giving up my passport. I'm talking about dual citizenship. Because then that's where you can start looking at stuff like marriage and stuff like that differently, and you may not agree with that. I'm not sitting there to say that's what the plan is, but there's a lot of dudes that's on that Pan-African side that has never been talked about. And then they start bullshitting. So it's like, okay, so you want us to create paths for you to come over here. You come in our schools, our HBCUs, our whatever, resources been allocated to black people. You cannot agree with that, but I'm just saying. And then you all get to play the triple minority card, but we can't benefit from like the infrastructure building over there, right? No, it ain't like
you got that here in the U.S. You could go to freaking Penn State or Notre Dame and get the same thing.
No, it's even better than that, bro. Ed, what you just described, and I'm not going to contradict you whatsoever. I'm just, again, observations here, and the observations put you in a certain place. You just laid out a very pro-black American argument against immigration. You need to tighten the borders and restrict control because we want access. We want primary access to whatever it is America can provide. You just did it, and that's a perfect argument, and I agree with that to a large degree. I'm with you.
I said, and you basically added stuff onto it because the truth is,
what did I add?
Hold on,
what did I add? No, what did I add?
First of all, because even amongst American context, the biggest who are the biggest people that shouldn't get the resources to get it as a minority? Which group?
Irrelevant to my point, but I was saying
white women.
White women? Okay, yeah.
It's white women. So it has done. So I get the immigration part is in there, but see, you take it when I said and take it out of context. What I'm saying is specific to
what context, bro? I didn't do anything. I didn't add anything.
And you're talking about tighten the borders.
Okay, so but here's
the argument. Africa's not America, nigga. Africa's not. We ain't them. We ain't them. But we ain't Mexican either. We ain't them. We ain't none of them niggas, bro. We ain't none of them niggas. We us.
You just did exactly what I'm talking about.
Hold up. So a brother. So
I mean, the audiences, they hear what they hear. I mean, they say what. So, So
a passport brother marries his Polish wife who ain't never seen nothing of the U.S., been living in poverty the whole life. So she comes over here. So just because now her skin is white and she married to a brother, though, she shouldn't be able to partake in the benefits over here because of this whole color game that she's had nothing to do with.
What are you talking about? What does that have to do with what any of us just said?
But here's the thing about the whole color game. What? Because we said, okay, white women shouldn't be able to benefit. Like I said, what if a passport bro brings back?
They're not black. No, they not in the way you're talking about. Right, you're talking about like American rights. I'm talking about a shit that's been assigned to black people that should have. And that's the first thing they flipped was white women were allowed to be a minority. That's their white women should not be allowed to be a minority just because.
But what if they are a minority?
Just because they marry a black.
What if they are a minority?
Because see, this is what I'm talking about. You're adding shit.
No, I'm serious, man. You got bro. I'm married to a white.
I mean, we get it. I mean, you know what Trey. You know what I would call you? A hyper assimilationist. And that's not a bad. That's not a bad thing.
Why?
It's just
because I'm American.
It's all America. It's all America.
Yeah, it is. It works, bro. I didn't say there's no racism. I told you the most racist people in the country are.
Hold on, Trey. Here's why it's important. It's not to say, oh, you're this. You're a bad thing. No, it's for me to say, okay, if you have these type of categories, I want to put you in this category, not to be bad, but to say, okay, this is where you're coming from with it. But that might not be the same thing as like where somebody that's like a Jason Black who may be traditionally conservative. And when I say traditional, I mean he's like you like, okay, let me ask y'all both this question.
It don't get no further traditional.
Let me
Jason
ask
Black
y'all,
ain't traditional, bro. Anything pro-black is not traditional conservative. Traditional conservative does not include race. When you include race, bro, that's communist.
Well, that's actually what MOT said too, by the way.
Yeah,
I told you the nigga on my dick.
Yeah. Well, the problem, but that's an added on thing. You're defining conservative. You're defining a key component of conservative is absence of race, even though America is defined.
Well, here's why.
Race, gender, and class are the DNA of this country.
Bro, that was communist lefty ideology that brought that in. 1600s, race was introduced. It kind of went away for the longest time. Then in the 1920s,
America has never been communist.
In the 1920s, these whole commies started, hey, let's throw this race shit in. Let's use black people. Come on, bro.
No, without using labels. Hold
on, real quick. Hold on, let me run this.
You're not the
David.
only one that says that. I've heard.
But here's real quick, Edward. Oh, here's the thing. Do you want to just, you know what? Oh, this black communist stuff. There's quite in history. And there's books, videos, the whole nine from brothers, sisters talking about this stuff. Are you gonna put your hands over your ears and go, I don't want to hear it?
You know, most black people don't even think that deep to be using terms like communism, Marxism, all of that.
Oh, okay, so you call them black people. So black people should remain stupid and ignorant to how they were supposed to be used in this country.
What black women do is black women use white zaddy as a methodology to have as much power and agency as they can over their men.
It goes way deeper.
It doesn't.
Than that,
yeah,
bro.
it may. I'm not. It may. But that's as far as how black people see it, as black women that do this shit see it. Like most black people, and look, I'll even give you the fucking Black Panthers if you want to go that route. Fine, I'll give you that because yes, they had an ideology on that. But most of these women are about power. They're not about, it's a communist agenda, and that's how we get. Because I'm gonna keep it real with you, because they buy into the things like American capitalism and hyper-consumerism more than anybody. So I get
who gave the black women power? Why was the means to give black women power to emasculate the black man? If you don't have a strong black man like the niggas that sparked off Tulsa, guess what? You don't have a people anymore. Once you get rid of the man, that is the first spark to get. It is. That was the whole goal from the get-go from Stalin. He wrote it himself, bro. Read some Stalin.
God, dude.
America. I'm gonna put my hands over my ears and go, I don't want to hear it.
No. Why you say white people? They listen to Stalin in order to underwrite black folks.
Drop your email, bro. Black people were meant to be the cannon fodder in this daggone race war in a race war in this country to bring down the United States capitalistic system. Now tell me, bro, that wasn't Stalin's plan. Put a rack on it.
Y'all, I need help. Does anybody want to come up here?
Put a rack on it, bro.
This is
fucking. I wasn't even gonna go that deep. I wasn't even gonna go that deep because.
This is why y'all got MOT running around here like a mad. Like this
MOT trying to be like me, bro.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
Let that nigga be crazy. You don't have to be crazy. You be you. Let that nigga be crazy. You cool.
Oh my God.
Now the thing is, let me
ask you
a simple question.
It's not about like.
Let's not even.
Back to my point. My point is, your job is to bring me to a singular conclusion. That is what you're doing, and I pegged that early on. I said the shit that you're saying is like a fucking gravity well. I said that before you said all this bullshit.
Hey, hold on, real quick. Hey, made by Ruben. No white liberals did that, homie.
Do we want to have laws that say the Hispanics get X and Y, Z from the government, from our tax money, and then the Asian community gets X, Y, Z from our tax money? That's the sort of thing.
None of this. They staying out of this because the link is down here.
Right, because but that's the conversation.
Peg doesn't mean, what you saying it means. It means I had it called. Don't do that. Go ahead. I don't know what it means in fucking UK, but
when we talk about like race politics, and that's a conversation I wonder if black people have actually thought out all the way. Do we really want to actually support something? Because I feels like we're headed in that direction, and I think it's just, for the sake of conversation, is that something that black people want.
You
Do we
know, I
want
got a
the
question
government
for
to
you.
spend
If
money
black
racially?
women started voting for the Republican Party, do you think black men would still vote for the Democratic Party?
Man,
Oh, hell yeah.
black men are gonna do whatever daggone black women say do.
Exactly. So the problem
The problem is black
is
men
them.
in their mind.
Yeah.
The strag is
Yeah,
the
I know
problem.
you were joking, Jessica.
We all agree. Everybody agrees in the manosphere at large that women are the problem, and everybody agrees in the black manosphere that the strag is the problem. Like, why can't we come together?
Well, because too many niggas won't let go of the strap.
Agreed.
And this is why I focus on telling dude, doing what I do. Because most of the gynocracy is a word that's not even spoken in the black community like that. The closest thing you get to is matriarchy. And to be honest with you, that's not even spoken.
Well, whether you call it a matriarchy or a gynocracy, this is why I will never stop tying it back to politics, because you got to remember, ultimately, every so often
I stay out of
support.
politics the same reason why I stay out of, like, I jumped on Roger the other day about, he wanted to talk about the church and he wanted to go back and forth with scripture. And I said, I don't give a fuck about scripture, because now politics is not the same way. I'll give you this already, but it's similar to where the IQ goes out the fucking window. It's not as much of a free fall as it is with scripture, because politics is based on, it's a debatable thing, but we are, but
self-interest though. No, raw self-interest. Does a person that you cast a vote for, do the people that you put political faith in actually align with your own personal raw self-interest? And the conversations that we've had for the last some years in the black manosphere,
you left me alone. You did that.
The conversations we've had in the black manosphere for a while have been focused on black men's raw self-interest. And I'm like, yo, our self-interest just don't align anymore. So we gotta acknowledge that and then get a cold bucket of water in the face, because that's some real shit.
You know what I've said? I've said that if you're gonna, one of the thing is, you have not dudes, but you have people that are aggravators, and then you have people that are basically they can't let the aggravators go. What they call them, they're the enablers. And a lot of black people, the problem is they can't let go of the hold on, who is this? Oh, this is CJ. You sure you want some of this? Because this is like akin to the old battle, CJ. So I don't know. This is some rapid fire shit.
Yeah, I'm ready to jump in.
All right, but like I said, you have the instigators, which is the people that do the bullshit, and then you have the enablers, which are people that they can't let go of the motherfuckers doing the bullshit. So a lot of what you have is black men enable a lot of this shit because they feel guilty. This is why I talk about black guilt and black ego. MOT was kind of like an example of black ego, but the guilt part is a lot of black men, they feel like anything that will harm a black female. And I want you to understand, well, you all get this, I'm pretty acquired, but I want you to know, I know what harming, if you define what harms a black woman, it may not actually harm them, but anything that emotionally they don't want to do, to them, that's considered harm, right? And so if it's perceived that it will harm them in the eyes of a black man, a lot of black men will not do it. And me and Roger just had this conversation with CJM on some shit. I won't relitigate that, but so that's the issue. So on my channel, what I do, and look, this is not popular shit. This is why my channel doesn't grow like that. What I do is I speak to examining deeply why you think that and why it's stupid, because they're not thinking that way on the other side. They're not. And so I'm trying to basically literally like massage that. And as far as and like I said, the only time you even heard me mention quote unquote conservative, because look, I don't listen to MOT like that. I'm not sitting here really aware of the battles y'all be having. I keep that shit over there because I'm not really talking about the politics like that. So when you come to, well, you talk about politics, you talk about this, I'm like, dude. I'm just giving an opinion based on what I'm talking about. And then it's like, damn, dude, you want to sit there and make it like something it's not. And anyway, go ahead, CJ. And what do you think about this conversation so far?
Yeah, well, I tuned in, and the reason I jumped on is because, and I could be wrong, but what I see is like two sides of the
Y'all
same
better
coin.
support the Cash App, yo. Go ahead.
Oh, what I'm seeing is two sides of the same coin. Like, on one side, you have MOT, who's like super hard Democrat, and the Democrat is going to save your life, and the Republicans are evil. But then you have on the other side, it's like the Democrats are evil, and the conservatives. That's where
No,
you need
it's
to go.
deeper than that. But you can go ahead, but it's deeper than that because MOT knows. Remember, MOT came at me because he said if you support the Strag, you're not a conservative. And we know nobody supports the Strag politically more than the Democrat. But keep going. But I just want to be fair about that because I don't want to. Probably videos already coming, but whatever.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of us who feel like a particular party is going to step in and save the day, and we just disagree on which party. Where I'm like, I'm not really aligned to either one. I just go with whoever I feel as though is the best candidate during that election cycle.
Well, when you say election cycle, you talk about presidency, you talk about local, because remember, you are in Baltimore. So that's another thing, too. We need to understand that we're talking about mayors, councilmen, but generally, go ahead.
I'm talking about both. I go by who sounds like they make the most sense right now. Like ever since from the day I registered, I was always a registered independent because I wasn't going to just pick a side at 18 years old and just ride it out. Like I didn't understand the logic in that.
Quick question. What is the topic for the night? I just want to know.
I mean, right now we're kind of talking political philosophy and why these niggas keep doing dumbass shit, but yeah. I mean, really, how this came up is MOT wanted to tell me what the fuck words to use. He wanted to be the word police with me, and then I don't know. Like I said, I personally do believe it still comes down to he don't like the fact that I still fuck with BGS. I think that's what a lot is driving that, and yeah, because I don't talk about this shit enough for him to do and fuck the video. Like you said, y'all all heard how he came at me. Y'all would think like it was a dust up before or some shit. Shit ain't that serious. Go ahead.
I want to add something. Have you guys noticed there's a lot of pregnant women dating on dating apps?
No, I'm not on a dating app. So
because I've been noticing a lot of pregnant women dating. I've been noticing that shit a lot. Like right now, I was just on TikTok. There's this woman that's 27 and she's in Houston, and she's like 13 weeks pregnant, and she's on talk about looking for a stepdaddy.
Well, that's what the benefit of these, liberal politics is. Well, I don't even say liberal. I'll say lefty politics at this point, which is enabling the woman and letting her have no accountability whatsoever, letting her run around and spread her legs for, every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And then at the end of the day saying, okay, now it's your time to come and get saved. And then
it's young and old too.
Yeah, what they do then is like, look, okay, men. Oh, so what, men? You want to go out here and find you a nice young woman who hasn't had kids? No, you must save one of these women. And if you don't want to save one of these women, you're a horrible individual, man. And you're a Trump supporter or something like that. You're a domestic hater. That's, to belittle men who don't want to get with these women. And that's the problem, that we're just trying to say that these lefty politics are instituting right now.
Like she already has a 7-year-old kid, a 7-year-old son. She's pregnant, 13 weeks, drinking wine in like some establishment, and I'm like, oh my god! It's just like, is it too early to be dating while pregnant? And I'm just like, fuck. It's like she's not. The baby's in her 13 weeks pregnant about dating. Like, not even a fresh newborn yet. And I see the dude she with. She like the dude's like a 24-year-old pookie or some shit. And I'm just like,
this conservative shit ain't working because I ain't got no cash apps yet. So apparently, this conservative grifter shit ain't what it's all cracked up to be. Fuck you, niggas.
Nah, you fixing to get shadow banned. You throw that conservative stuff on there. Be careful.
I mean, I'm already probably low key shadow banned because of the gynocracy shit. But whatever.
Yeah, I've been seeing
that's the real enemy, though.
Like who's got the fucking dog, man? Who's got the fucking bitch?
No, sorry, I was walking by. This German Shepherd's barking at me. Literally, German Shepherd, a dog.
You got a German Shepherd. Be careful, bro.
Yeah, stop.
Literally.
That's
not
why you
the figure.
That's why you don't. That's why you don't cold approach.
No, real
Shout out
dog,
to
no, real
Minister
German
Jack.
Shepherd, not a figurative, literally a German Shepherd, not figuratively.
This nigga tried to go mode 1, it didn't go right.
No, a real dog, like a real German Shepherd.
Are you sure? Because it is
Yeah, the
dark.
real German Shepherd. It really was a real German Shepherd, yeah.
Hey, they out here looking for cougars, man. Be careful of them old German shepherds, man. They looking for cougars, man. They gonna
Yeah,
get you
they're
an
looking for a
Xbox and some
gullible sucker.
I
They
wasn't
get
even
you
thinking
Xbox
about
and some
Minister
J's,
Jack.
bro.
Yo, I ain't.
Shit, I already got an Xbox. I got 2 of them bitches at home. I got the original one that first came out, like a 4, the Microsoft one, and the 360. I'm good. And I got a Wii and a PSP.
Yo, ain't that the trap though? They just gonna get the bitches more and more shit so they can have more and more luxury items to lure niggas into submission.
Man, they're gonna need a lot more than an Xbox and some J's.
You know,
Not that it works.
That's
Kobe,
just you,
Kobe,
the average
if
nigga.
I didn't know you, Kobe, I would swear you were trolling. Like the people in the chat are wilding the fuck out. Like you Kobe,
I'm not joking.
You gonna be on Stream Team memes. Cause I saw that, and then I think it was Gabe 8. It was like, "What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?" Like it was one thing on Stream Team memes. Yeah, like y'all.
There's
like,
a meme?
Yeah,
I
you
want a
never
meme?
heard of Stream Team memes?
No, I haven't.
Hey, well, you
No.
just became a feature on that shit.
Shit.
Yeah, like it was one
about
dude
to
that
get
did like
clipped,
a
son.
random thing. Yeah, it's this shit's funny as fuck. Yo, I don't know.
What's part? The German Shepherd or the pregnant women on dating apps?
Bro, just
I mean,
just
you
wait
and
for it
these
to come out.
have you been fucking pregnant women, yo?
No, I just be on Tinder and just seeing that shit.
Don't start
I be on
lying
Tinder.
now.
And it's young women too. It's young and old. They be like 18, 19.
Hey, why not, bro? Free
I don't-
Fire. Hey, Free Fire area. You can't get them pregnant twice, bro. Go
I
for it.
don't believe in dating. I don't believe in dating apps.
I don't either, but it's just so it's
Well, I
it's
mean,
fucking mind blowing.
then you clearly you want them. Like,
No, I can see it.
Easy
And I was on
beatdown, bro.
Tinder.
Go for
I
it,
was
man.
on
Easy
Tinder seeing
beatdown.
this shit.
Fake name, get a hotel, beat them down, man. That little, hit that little baby upside the head, bro.
I'd rather just go to Las Vegas. It's so much better. I'd rather go to Las Vegas. You know what they say? You don't pay them to fuck you, you pay them to leave.
Bro, they on Tinder, man. They don't want to pay. They just looking for a dude, man. Just give them a fake name. Tell them your name is MOT.
Don't do that. Like I said,
I don't want to be that guy, but I just hate the point. Yeah, yo, we was having a serious conversation about a bunch of like high-minded shit, and now we talk about bitches on Tinder.
And this is the problem.
Oh,
with the manosphere.
reset.exe. God damn it. I felt
Yeah,
for
no,
it.
I'm glad because I'm
Damn
about
it.
to actually end this shit. Actually,
Oh.
shout out to LaKenzie for the $2. So me Grifton only made $2 on the black conservative panhandling today. So I don't. Y'all said this shit pays, and I don't see that it does.
But Edward,
No, being pro black pays. You gotta say you're gonna build a museum or some
No,
shit.
I don't have that type of
Or a
audience.
school.
No. Don't talk shit because Tariq's got a good track record. You cannot like him, but when he fucks up, the only thing
A
that
good
Tariq fucked
track
up
record.
on, yes, he does. Well, he does what he says he's gonna do with the money he's given. With that being said, the one thing he did do was that app, that More Us app, and I said to this day he should have made that a website, but.
You see, you raising $5 million
Morris
for a
app,
museum,
what we're
right?
supposed to do, Edward?
The More Us app was supposed to be kind of like a Black Planet app, but I said, "Nah, nigga, you need to make that a website." But no, he wanted to make it an app. It didn't work. I guess he thought because he made that Crispy app. That I still got that Crispy app. By the way, you can still buy that Crispy app to this day.
To be honest with you, because everybody's using a cell phone more often, app is not really a bad idea nowadays.
It's not a bad idea, but it requires more money to deal with. So I mean,
Oh,
it's better
for
to start off
infrastructure?
as a website.
Okay, for different.
Yeah, I mean that's all I'm saying. Just like with what Umar fucked up is Umar should have did a digital website. Like for example, like if you look at have you ever heard of Home Team History?
I'd look it up.
Y'all should check it out. It's a very good channel. It's got like 500 subs. It's kind of like it's actually better than Hidden Colors, and it's free. So there you go. But he has a Patreon and all that. He talks about a lot of Black African history and stuff like that. It's not pro-Black, it's just Black history and stuff. As far as like, it's a lot of different stuff. It's really good, very good shit. Dylan Roof was evil.
Yo, what do you think about the new museum Tariq Nasheed wants to open?
For
I
$5
mean,
billion.
I think, yeah. Hold on. I think it's very ambitious. I think all it takes, yeah, he said he's too. Trey said he's too buzzed for this piece. Yeah, smart man. He saw his way out because sometimes niggas be turning the cussing motherfuckers out. Y'all should have heard that J Speed and BGS shit. That shit was funny. But it's ambitious. I'm like, I don't know, nigga, because like it's gonna be very easy for you to go in that Jay Morris and Umar once you get into that. Especially because, you know, it's a lot of motherfuckers waiting for Tariq to take an obvious L. The only thing people got with Tariq is that L he took with, well, everybody says he took with, what is it, the soft shoe white supremacist dude, you know, the old dude. Okay. You know what I'm talking? Yeah, but something like
Derek
that.
Taylor.
Yeah, they'll never let that go. Nigga, where's the money? People been waiting for the where's the money Tariq. You know, it's like, nigga, you dumb. And 7 million too? I don't know, but you know, Tariq is not completely fucked up. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know what I think? I personally think Tariq has the money from like bigger people already. He has enough. It's just he wants to demonstrate how much he can raise on his own to connect those dots. To kind of say, okay, this is how much the people are doing. I just need y'all to connect these dots for this, this, and this. Because it's not gonna having an African American museum is not really against like a NBA players and stuff like that. They're not gonna really take a hit for doing that, you know, because it's not something, you know what I'm saying? Especially after a museum is already done. So
does he need 7 million? He's not building on the West Coast.
Yeah, he is building on, but he's building in LA. But
I thought it was in Georgia.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But even still, like, it's ambitious, and I mean, it may go bad. And I mean, nigga, you've learned from Uba not to do with Umar, so it ain't like he don't know. But hey,
are people really gonna see that shit though?
It better look damn good, because you know how we are, man. But you know who ain't never ask. But hold on, you know who ain't never go ask where the money is, right? That black pastor will never ask that money, where that money went. And I'm not saying you can't ask Tariq and then where the money went, but you know, I even said it. I said, damn, you females. I want to tell you how much, you don't know how much these black pastors are pimping these women. What would be the number one thing you think a church would offer for black women?
Dreams and hope?
No, they already offer that. They offer that in spades.
Seriously, what do women get out of church, bro? Seriously.
No, they get they get emotional dope. Pastors are emotional dope dealers. The function of the pastor is to help the black woman that is washed arrive safely to the grave. That's what they do, and that's what they get paid for. But daycare. You would think daycare would be the number one thing they would try to put together. They actually cost a lot of black women, especially single mothers, but they don't do that. You know why? Because that emotional dope is all they need. But that's what they are. I call them emotional dope dealers. Derek Jackson was an emotional dope dealer. Yeah. So
I know it was crazy. I can't believe he's still losing followers, but like people are still supporting in a way.
Actually, Don, let me see how many. Let's do a Derek Jackson follower check. Yeah, apparently
they were dropping.
Apparently, all is great. I mean, shit. I ain't mean a pocket watch, but his server. How many you get a lot of donations because apparently you're a grifter too.
Bro, I don't even get nothing compared to the actual manuscript content.
Man, my channel ain't even. You know, my channel ain't even monetized. I just turned on the super chat because everybody kept asking me to. But I've yet to monetize any videos in this space because
YouTube won't monetize me, because if you look at some of the content I've covered, like I cover a lot of far out shit that people not really ready to have the conversation about. Like the other day, I just did a stream about black women getting their fetuses snatched up and sold to a abortion. I mean, to
Oh, nigga,
research
that's
clinics and
nigga. I
shit.
wouldn't touch that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
nobody wants to talk about that. You can't monetize my type of conversation. So I'll be over there just trying to get a few, what do you call it, cash apps and keep it pushing.
yeah, cash out to friend. You know what you should do? You should do what Ron Wills does. Don't do OnlyFans. Do ConnectPal because you get some subscriptions because that's a little easier than Patreon. But what I'm gonna do with my Patreon is I'm just gonna use Patreon just to post videos that are unlisted. I'm not even gonna charge motherfuckers for it. It's not, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't get your money. But my thing is, I'm a salesperson. There's other things that I do to make money. So I don't really. I feel weird getting money just by talking. If I'm not providing a service, that's why I really kind of took it personally when he was talking about that grifter shit. But yeah, man, Derek Jackson is under 700,000 subscribers, yo.
Wait, what was it? What was his cap? Was 750?
That's
man.
The thing about.
So he lost over 100,000 subscribers.
That nigga
right?
took a hit, huh?
He lost over 100K subscribers on YouTube, but on IG he's still strong.
I mean, he's gonna be strong because IG is a visual medium, so he ain't talking on that motherfucker. So yeah, he's gonna be strong there.
Cause remember, he doesn't do content much on YouTube like that. He'll post videos here, but really,
But you said he's on Instagram too. I didn't know he was on Instagram.
Yeah, if you think about Edward, most of his content, if you think about it, is copy and paste with his car, sitting in his backseat, his car, wherever. He posts his shit on IG. You know why? Because the bitches are on IG.
Well, that's another thing. If you really want to make money, you would target a female audience.
Oh shit,
no matter
he
what
does
you're
have
after.
1.2 million. He does have 1.2
There you
million.
go. So remember, IG is a woman's app. If you're man, you got a six-pack and big muscles, and talk that shit, you go and keep it following IG. YouTube a little different.
And he said he's an encourager, author, public encourager. Like I said, that's code for emotional dope dealer.
Oh, it's too bad you can't show. You can't.
Hold on. Let's see his masterclass. He's got secrets to evolve. Like, you know what? Let's look at this. Let's learn together, guys. Let's learn together.
Okay.
Wait, did this nigga just list encourager as like a job title?
Well, it's not LinkedIn. It is. This nigga got a blue check mark. You fucker. Who did you pay for that shit?
Of course he got a blue check mark.
That means he's a certified emotional dope dealer. That's it. You can't be a certified grifter unless you got that blue check mark.
How you get a blue check mark?
Hey, JT, why don't you pocket watch this nigga? I said that pocket watch with JT should take orders for treatments. You do if you don't like a certain motherfucker, you be like, hey man, I give you we could do it. We could raise some money for you. Do a pocket watch with Tariq Nasheed edition. You willing to make enemies? Go ahead. We got.
Hey, quick question. Didn't he have a show coming up with some women? I can't remember his name. Something with a D or something.
This nigga.
Hello?
This nigga. Hold on. No, I hear you. Hold on. Hold on. Secrets to Evolve Men. Masterclass. Let's check this.
I can't let him from the 32-year-old. He aged baby like most.
Hey, hold on. Look, I'm an internet marketer, so I like shit like this.
Is he doing masculinity classes now? Is Derek Jackson the masculinity guru?
I don't know. I know.
He's a step enforcer.
Hold on, guys. So he's got a. This sounds like this. Okay, so this is what you call. It looks like a live webinar, but I can tell you with this, like if you refresh it, it'll go back. Oh, this is smart. Hold on. What I'd have to do is put it on incognito and do it again. Let me do it in incognito. Y'all won't see it, but let me do it.
Yo, you know what? Derek Jackson should rebrand himself as a fucking game coach. He should come back like a PUA and teach black men how to get black pussy.
Let me see. So let's see, guys. Let's see what's
going on, beautiful people. Derek Jackson here. Now, I imagine that you're here to sign up for the free training I have coming up, which is cool and all. But first, let's make sure it's right for you. Can you relate to either of the following predicaments? At this point, you're just exhausted with dating because, quite frankly, you're underwhelmed with the prospects. Maybe you gave one or two a chance just to regret it on down the road because you ended up. Two started getting close. He started pulling away. Now, if you can relate to either or any of those predicaments.
Okay, so this is aimed at bitches. So let me see, webinar. This got to be okay. So, let's see. Register. The next one is this is how you August. This is how you know this is bullshit. Why would you do a webinar at 12:45 a.m.? Next webinar is this is so it's not a live webinar. So it's nothing wrong with that being automatic. I should, you know what I should do? I should put my email in this bitch. I'm gonna put my email in this just to see. This is my secrets to evolve. Secrets to making an evolved man crave you. Hosted an evolved man crave you. Yeah, y'all still here. Hosted by. You said, what's my PayPal? Yeah, I got PayPal. Yeah, this stream. I mean, this wasn't meant to be like. Hold on. I got PayPal. This stream wasn't meant to be like, you know, fuck that nigga. Da 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 da. It ain't that serious, yo.
My thing, if you're conservative or not, it's your choice how you put out the content in your channel. I mean, you're not a political channel.
Yeah, he's using Webinar Jam. Yep. So these are. Oh yeah. So it's starting in 6 minutes. We should. If I want to be asshole, we watch this together. Secrets of making evolved man crave you, nigga. Why do you look at this shit? He got lips on this thing. Look at this shit, nigga. Do better. You got way too many subscribers. Look at it. This ain't even. This is gibberish.
Well, it's not written properly.
No, this is lip sum. This is word. This is like when you do word filler.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like Derek Jackson. Like he the only thing that needs to be there. You know man. You know he's about to sell a course to these bitches, right?
Might as well, because they're gonna have.
Damn, I didn't know he was doing this on the gram. Damn, this nigga. Oh, it's Stefan Speaks. Who is this?
Stefan Vasquez.
He's almost got 2 million.
But did you really think he wasn't gonna make a comeback? Like,
oh no, these are because black women. I mean, he has pastor. Black women are not going to let him go because they don't follow him to tell the truth. They follow him. Now I'll tell you this: if it was not black women, he'd still come back, but he would have took a bigger hit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, Stefan Collections. Now, and it ain't nothing wrong with necessarily making money. Shout out to Steffens Cole. Steffens Cole, he be spitting facts, but. Yeah, don't ask me for my
what
PayPal.
What about the other guy, Ace Metaphor?
Y'all don't do shit. Y'all support the. If y'all gonna ask for my PayPal, support the PayPal.
But I don't understand why people focus on PayPal. Cash App's much more effective nowadays. I don't understand it, man.
People get banned from Cash App. That's why.
No, people get banned from PayPal. Shout out to Patricia for the $5 PayPal. She's probably the first person to hit my PayPal in a minute.
That's
I
right.
like Cash App because PayPal charges you.
Well, you're right, Jessica X. He is trying to get international bag because if it doesn't work in America, there's other black women out here look at him and they say we're gonna give him that money.
Oh yeah, Derek Jackson can clean up in the UK, man.
Oh yeah, he'll make love.
And Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, well, anywhere there's black females. I mean, shit, he'll clean up.
He want to try South America. They'll love that.
She said, "Why is it in French?" Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Too easy. Is right about some of these casual political conservative culture warriors. Many like knowledge. I mean, yeah, but they ain't got nothing to do with my channel. That's my thing. Like, who's still up here? Okay, who's there? So, yeah, I'm about to. Cause I didn't intend for this. I mean, this is already 2 hours and 21 minutes. Like, this is about to be just as long as the last one. But
I was just gonna say about Derek Jackson. You said something about him getting caught with like a white girl or something. Once he did that, he would have been already set up for the international play. Now he's a player for real, you know.
Mm-hmm. And the black woman say, "Oh, he does all this in the bed. I need that."
He's a reformed punk boy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, do what you want, just own what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers, like, don't come at me with the. I mean, you can lie to yourself, but if you lie to me, I'm either gonna ignore you or tell you or basically show that mirror up. Hold on, this bitch. Like, O'Shea always talk about this hoe say talk black to me. I've never heard that shit. She need to Vicky Diller. She need to do a fucking TikTok. Talk black to me.
Yes, that's her name. That's her name. Yeah.
And this shit is so fucking goofy, y'all.
Vicky Diller was trying to defend Derek Jackson, saying about if his wife figures him, why shouldn't you? People are mad because he's a hypocrite and a narcissist.
I mean,
not that he ain't shit.
well, you know, black people love narcissists.
It's not that he's not ain't shit. He was talking all that cash shit, and then he's doing the same thing he was doing. It's not that he's not. If he would have been ain't shit, people would have fucked with him.
Yeah, true.
It's just that you're saying you talking shit about cheating and shit, and he's doing the same thing he was against. It's not like he came in the game and said, "Look, I ain't shit. This is who I am. I'll do this."
Yeah.
He came in being a wolf in sheep clothing. He's coming holier than thou. He would have said, "I ain't shit."
He got a T-shirt saying "Black men don't cheat."
Yeah. You know what? I don't even care that Derek Jackson's a hypocrite. Because I'm gonna point something out. I'm gonna point something out to you. He's making money honestly in a certain way. Because he's not lying, he's not manipulating, he's not like entrapping any woman into a situation where he can wring money out of them. But all the women that fuck him are trying to do that to him. So I really don't care who got their feelings hurt or who felt like they got lied to.
Well, most black. I mean, if you think about it, Kevin Samuels. Even if you look at black men, I would argue black men have a bigger problem with Kevin Samuels than they do Derek Jackson. As far as when you look at the dust up, for the most part, people will call out Derek Jackson, but Derek Jackson didn't create this many videos. I'm talking about if you filter for just black men. You didn't see so many black men come at Derek Jackson like that. People came at it at first, and then when he directly said some crazy shit, but for the most part, people said, "All right, that nigga there, that's what it is." But that's not how people treat Kevin.
I respect that. Look, niggas fuck, niggas cheat. Like, I'm gonna look at that nigga like he crazy because he wanted to, all the women that's trying to throw something at him, and he finally dabbled a little, he's dabbled a little bit, and I'm supposed to look at him like he crazy. I really don't care. That's between you and the women that love you, bro.
As the conservative thing, he should have stayed with his wife.
No, the right.
Well, we didn't even know he was married.
That's between you and the women that love you. Now, because what I'm gonna add to that is none of y'all women have the right to come back and say you deserve XYZ because you got done wrong. Get the fuck out of here.
Somebody say Zelle. Yeah, I got Zelle. I mean, shit. If you can send Zelle, you can send it via Cash App. What are you doing, dude? Are you exercising? Like, shit. This nigga, like, come on, man. This ain't a call center. God. Like,
I was working on Frostetta Brothers.
This shout out to this. She got some Cash App. Shout out to Abdul. For I had the sub. I mean, I get it, but it is what it is. And then Jason Carr for the Griff Fund. I appreciate that. The Griff Fund. Because I'm trying to. Don't let me. Because I actually got a coaching program about to do this like $175 a month. Yeah, I'm not. That's not what I offer here.
Well,
but
you can start a new thing, man. Donate to the Griff Fund.
I ain't gonna do it because MOT type person. Once he get on something, he don't let it go.
Have you ever heard of these old lame dudes?
Well, it does have something to do with me if he go keep on putting my name and shit.
No, but he choose to do what he choose to do is all I'm saying.
But it ain't even on him. The problem ain't even the main issue is not him. You got a lot of motherfuckers, and you know this because what y'all say be pissing people off. They be ready. Oh my God, this nigga. Like, how many trolls I got, motherfuckers, that they pretend to be other people just to get on my shit. Man, one dude got me twice. He's like, yeah, man, here's BGS. I said, here you go. Fuck you, Edward. You a bitch. You a hoe. And I'm like, God damn.
I remember that guy. I can't remember that guy.
Oh, hold on. Oh shit. I'm about to start the broadcast. We done the broadcast. The Secrets of the Evolved Man. Hold on.
You logged in? It's ready to go?
Yeah, it ain't the broadcast. It's the webinar.
Okay, now I want to watch this. This should sound fun.
Yeah, from Internet Marketer Reacts. Let's see.
get started. And like I said it in the emails, y'all. We get started on time
here.
here.
But to have a little bit of grace, let's go ahead and do a couple of shout outs. If you are in the room, and by the way, guys, I'm going to look very small. A lot of the stuff that you're going to be seeing on this screen is going to be hard to read if you are on your mobile device. Now, that's all you got. That's all you got. But if you have your laptop somewhere near, go.
This is going to give you an insight in what some of these motherfuckers be doing.
Like, click on the link that's in the email.
So let's see. We'll listen to it first couple of minutes.
That way you can see everything. You don't miss anything. Let me know, for those who are joining in the room right now, let me know where you're joining from. I see you, Maria. I see you. What's going on? Okay. I see you, Taylor. What city? What city? Let me know where you're coming from. What city are you in? Atlanta is in the house. What's up, Grand Rapids? Okay. Oh, y'all all over the place, man. Miami's in the house. Y'all all over the place. All right, cool. I see you.
Can y'all hear it?
I see you.
Yes.
Gerald, you got a brother in the house? What's going on? All right, I don't want to take too much time.
Oh, hold on.
Appreciate you if you showed up, just curious about this, but let me go ahead and make sure that those of you who are in right now, and I see quite a few of you are piling on up in here, that you're in the right place. All right. So this is for you. Move this down a little bit. This is for you if you are dating and ready to finally receive better results in your dating experience. This is for you if you're currently evaluating someone, or maybe several ones, and wanting to make the best decision. If that's you, you're in the right place. This is for you if you are apprehensive.
Go ahead and get that Kevin Samuels money.
In the current dating market. Some of y'all can relate to that. Just a bit underwhelmed these days. All right. This is also for you if you're currently in a relationship and you're looking for ways to increase your evolved man's, I should have put that on here, but your evolved man's desire for you on a daily basis.
Appreciate Sweet Jones $10 PayPal. Appreciate that, as well as Patricia's $5.
All right. Now, who this is not for? This is not for women that just want somebody.
Is the evolved man a high value man?
I'm sorry. I'm not here to say anything's wrong with getting a guy like that. I'm not saying that you can't have that kind of standard for yourself.
What he say? He said it ain't for if you want somebody to make 6 figures.
All that matters to you, and that's become wildly popular lately for some reason. This masterclass is unfortunately not for you. Don't want to waste your time. No love lost. Also, this is not for you if you want to change who you are just to get somebody. You don't even care. You just want a placeholder. Yeah. You just want company. You want him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's the first thing if it ain't for you.
Be a lot of qualifiers. There may be a need for you to continue being single right now in order to properly prepare and attract that evolved man. Like, this is for people who.
That's interesting. So that's opportunity to buy more shit.
What they're currently entertaining is not measuring up. So if you're willing to do whatever it takes just to have somebody, this ain't quite the master class for you. Again, no love lost.
So if you will pick me, it ain't for you.
And I have some resources for that, but this ain't the resource. All right. Now, before we begin, let's go ahead and get some house rules in order. Prepare to take notes, guys. I talk fast. Yes, there's screenshot technology that is beautiful to use. I highly encourage that if that's, whatever tickles your fancy. But I don't use notes. I don't have like a script or anything like that. Everything that I'm going to discuss is things that I've been researching for years. So I pretty much have it up here, and there's going to be some things I give you that's not on the slide. Therefore, it's best to go ahead and take notes. We retain about, I think, 20 to 25% of what we hear whenever we don't take notes. And it jumps up 40+% whenever we do take notes.
So, I mean, this is the game behind the game, yo. Y'all be out like, this is what happens. You got to get that bitch money. It ain't just in cash apps. Lucky I can't fast forward it.
Pack these master classes with a ton of information, things that I've charged thousands of dollars in the past to be able to teach.
I believe it.
Free, but that doesn't take away from the value. So prepare to take notes, turn off all distractions. I've put mine on airplane mode. So hopefully it don't still go off. I'm looking at it now on airplane mode. It's probably gonna go dead on my phone. Turn off all distractions. Go ahead and make sure this is the only tab open. You owe it to yourself. If you got here, for the reasons that I talked about earlier, dating prospects, you're getting ready to let somebody in your life, or maybe they're already in your life. They can have a ton of influence on the way that your life goes. Like somebody who's going to be in charge of your heart, basically. Don't play with that. You know, as you're learning, as you're gathering tools, as you are being equipped to better show up or to attract this person, like just take it seriously. All I'm asking for is about an hour and a half, maybe even an hour. I don't know. We may be able to get out of here pretty quick. When I first did this masterclass, we got out of here in just under an hour. But turn off all distractions.
Press 1 if y'all can hear this.
Take our own time, okay? Also, I get off on engaging. I'm looking at the comments right now. I get off on those who engage, so let's engage regularly. This ain't just me lecturing and just talking. Like, get your Twitter fingers ready. Talk. Y'all be commenting on social media all the time. Might as well comment here. Engage regularly. I want to hear from you guys while we are in here. Also, watch through to the very end. I have several bonuses for you guys. Things that weren't explicitly detailed whenever we first just came in. Watch through to the very end. Do not miss the end, because there's some incredible, crazy bonuses that I'm going to tell you guys about. Now, if you're ready to begin, type ready in the chat. Okay? Type ready in the chat if you're ready to begin. Let me see if I can try to make.
I know these motherfuckers are mad. They like, man, I want a body shot, motherfucker.
I don't know. We're going to try. I'm making sure I get ready. Let me make sure. All right, Clarissa, I see you said that you're ready. Okay. Markeisha is ready. All right,
I ain't gonna play the whole thing. I just want to get a couple.
Y'all up in here deep. Y'all up in here deep. All right, let me get a swig of water. If you got to take a bathroom break, please run and go do it. Get you some water. Hopefully you already did all of that, because we about to get this thing popping. All right, now, who am I? For those who don't know, my name is Derek Jackson. My government is Jackson, Jackson. Pronounced the same way. I just wanted to make it easier to Google and stand out, because Jackson's such a common name. But my mama named me Derek, Jackson. I'm the author of Don't Forget Your Crown. That's what most people know me by, even though I'm a 10-time published author, self-published author. Most people know me for Don't Forget Your Crown. It sold well over 100,000 copies worldwide. It's still my best-selling book. It's Don't Forget Your Crown. Self-love has everything to do with it. You know, my staple is self-love, remembering who you are, all that good stuff. So Don't Forget Your Crown is like my relationship Bible in a sense. And yeah, that's most of y'all probably know me by that book. I also create content. I happen to be a polarizing content creator, over 1 billion views online. But, you know, it's not my goal to be polarizing. Honestly, if you tell the truth these days, you're going to be polarizing. You're going to ruffle some feathers. But no matter what anybody thinks about me, I can always stand on this. Every time I open my mouth, I'm either encouraging somebody or I'm telling the truth. I've literally, in my 10 years of doing this, I've never seen anybody be able to take my content and say there's zero truth to it, like specifically, not in general, or that it doesn't apply to anybody. So I stand on that. I'm cool. They can look at me any way they want to.
Yeah, of course. Zero truth. You can say the same thing about Satan.
Any of the content creator, author, anything like that. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 2 beautiful children. My little girl, she's 4 years old, Marley Jackson. And then my little boy, Derek Jackson Jr., who's 3 years old and just officially got potty trained about 2 weeks ago. Somebody that's a parent high-five me there for no more pull-ups and diaper changes the moment that he wakes up every single morning. Yes, that is my pride and joy, that I'm a family man. I'm passionate about what I do because, you know, I grew up in a dynamic where we had family, of course, but it wasn't that it wasn't that 2-parent household. You know, my dad wasn't there. My mom's superwoman to this day. I believe she's one of the strongest women I've ever had the privilege to know. But we didn't have that family. And a lot of things that I grew up and had to overcome was a result of the family dynamic that was also a result of broken relationships. So whenever I talk about this, I'm coming from a very personal place. It wasn't until I was almost 15 years old that I saw both a husband and a wife in the home. My stepfather, who passed away, unfortunately, a couple of months ago, God rest his soul. But that was the first time that I got to see what it looked like whenever there was both a man and a woman in the home, you know, and how they was able to pour in. How if one person was stretched thin, the other person was able to pick up the slack, you know, how they was able to encourage each other, the benefit of that. So that inspired me to do what I do today. You know, I don't know it all. Even though people look at me as a guru or expert, I don't claim to be. I literally have never claimed to be an expert in this area. I just want to open up my mouth and encourage somebody to make it out of their current situation, to keep believing in that 2-parent household, because no matter what you have done or what you have tolerated in the past, Like there's always a new tomorrow if you keep believing. All right. So I ain't gonna keep preaching. I just want to come let y'all know where I'm coming from as we do this masterclass. Now, why in particular did I choose this topic to talk about? Because it is a little bit different than what I typically talk about. Well, the conversation right now around relationships has a lot to do with modern standards, traditional standards, and which one is right. Which one is right? Do we go with how our great granddaddies and grandmamas did it? Or should we change everything, throw everything, that we know about relationships out the window and do it differently now and go with this whole fluidity and super liberal way of going about relationships? Well, I don't have all the answers to that, but that inspired this conversation. And hopefully we can get a little clarity for those who also have been.
All right.
Modern versus traditional, modern man, modern woman.
Oh God,
that's crazy. Even he talking about liberalism.
That's how a fucking grifter does it. That's how you do it right now. I can tell you right now, shout out to Russell Brunson. There is a whole formula into how to do that. And I should have pointed it out before it happened. So, I know at the end of the day, he's going to give him some shit. Then he's going to offer him like a coaching program or course. It's going to be X amount of dollars and he going to get that money. Now that's on a program called Webinar Jam. It's going to allow that to run on repeat. So if you all were to go in there and actually sign up for them, you would get it as if it's a live webinar. It's not for, people. Anyway, so it allows him to run that. So that runs 24/7 all the time in a webinar format. And damn, y'all fucked me up because he didn't take it. That, that tells you how powerful social media is if you can compartmentalize it, because Kevin has 1 million on Instagram too, and and I believe Derek has a legit million. I believe Derek has a legit million, and Kevin has a legit million, because everybody that has that don't have it legit. And when I say legit, I mean like they didn't buy the followers. It's a difference between doing like shout out for shout out. That's still real followers, but yeah. So yeah. Yeah, and he's not going to sell books through that. Like he's actually selling digital courses and stuff like that. His books give him credibility, and like I said, man, if women want that's fine. But that's how you really do it. Like me with my cash out, I ain't doing nothing, man. I'm basically panhandling. Basically, paying. I'm just asking to pay for my time. But shout out to the people that supported as well. Derunimer said, if I hear another person say pour into you, yeah, the question is, what are you pouring? Are you pouring bullshit? Because like I said, but yeah, man, I would have probably kept it on if I could have fast forward through it, put it on speed, but I ain't about to listen to all that. Plus, to keep it real, I'm straight up biting his hustle by doing that, posting this shit like that. But yeah, man, just like that. You see his Instagram, and then if you look at his Instagram, I mean, he know what the women come to see. Yeah. Click that link. I'm an encourager.
Anyway. Self-improvement. I'm gonna get you self-improvement, ladies.
Yeah, and so it is.
Internet. All you do is go ahead.
And what's crazy is, Kevin ain't even begun to monetize this shit. Really, Kevin just gets money off of Patreon. Well, actually, he does do the membership thing, so you can't comment unless you have membership, and then AdSense. So, boy, telling black women, shit. Yeah, that's anyway. What am I trying to think? Oh yeah, what do y'all think about Rihanna? I'm gonna end it with this. Something like, what do y'all think about Rihanna being a billionaire now?
It's nothing really surprising. Nothing really gonna wow me, because there are a growing amount of few black billionaires now, and I'm not sure if she really is a billionaire, because they said Dr. Dre was a billionaire, but when I check the actual numbers, he's not there yet.
Well, Dre's like an 800. He been at 800 million. Yeah. Really, that
I got to double check what if she really is 1 billion, because let's be honest, they'll say a lot of things until I just dig it up to make sure it's valid.
Apparently, Diddy's a billion. Yeah, they'll eventually get there.
Kylie Jenner was a billionaire years ago, and we checked, she was not even close to that. She probably that now, but she never was close. So always be cautious when they said this person is a billionaire.
Nigga, Issa Rae got married. No, she ain't, man. Rihanna, why would Rihanna get married? Why would Rihanna get married?
Well, she was messing with an Arab dude that's a billionaire, so that probably helped the network a little bit. Not much, but twink a little bit. So, but if she's not getting married, she's gonna be for the streets. And
apparently Tiger Woods was sued to Strag.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tiger Woods. Anyway, man, like I'm tired, but I thought this was pretty. Y'all got to hear Hood Conservative on my shit first time. You got to hear Trey too.
Good night, Edward. Thanks for letting me on.
Yeah, absolutely, Kobe.
I'll see you next time. Bye.
Don't
Good night,
drug.
guys.
Yeah.
Just edibles. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hood Service is asleep. Okay, the guy's asleep. He don't have no comment.
No, I'm in the store. I can't really talk that much, but
You
thanks
can't
for
talk
having me.
that
I'll catch you on
conservative
the
shit
next one.
around real people. Yeah, man. No, I'm playing.
Nah, nigga, y'all was talking stupid shit.
Like the fucking gynocracy. I be saying that in the middle of the store. Shit, motherfuckers be looking at me. I'm like, hell yeah, shit.
Edward,
Nah, you got to be real with it though.
Yep. All right, man. Peace.
There's a comment. A man said, Mr. Rage said, if it ain't a billion, liquidate it, all cap. And it's a possibility because she got poor ownership of what that thing what do you call it? That makeup line.
It depends. It depends.
Yeah.
But I like it depends. It depends. I mean, what he says isn't wrong, but it depends. She got there by pimping chicks out through her Fenty lingerie. I mean, at the end of the day, sales are sales. But like I said, man, this shit was so fucking unnecessary. It really was. Like, it's like this is where you gotta fucking, like, a lot of times when you get in the heat of the battle of something, at the end of the day, you gotta realize this shit is you too.
Yes.
Yeah, like real talk. And the problem is people will get so wrapped up in the shit. It's like motherfuckers will just start attacking anything that moves. And it's like it ain't that serious, yo. It really ain't. And that's why I try to take a step back from certain things. Like I said, I understand where he's coming from, but I see where y'all are disagreeing. I get that too. It really ain't that serious, man. And then people are talking about people are grifting. Let me tell you something. When people don't, like, even that Derek Jackson shit I just showed you, them women ain't being lied to. Them women are getting paid to give that nigga getting paid for bullshit. And this is why, when motherfuckers always got something to say about folks in network marketing or folks selling digital information, it's like these niggas know what they buying. You know what these dumbass motherfuckers will give their money to Walmart. They might as well give the shit to me. Y'all act like, oh, well, black people gonna buy bullshit no matter where they buying it. They might as well buy it from me. Mm-hmm. So, fuck them shoes. They might as well give it me, and I'm gonna give them some game. Mm-hmm. And I'm not about to make that like an ongoing joke about the grifter thing, but like I kind of like, my thing is, you call me a grifter, like come on, man, like come on. Anyway, you got any final thoughts before I bounce out? Cause
man. Peace.
All right, man. Yeah. All right, so y'all, this is another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. Appreciate everybody for the cash apps, for the super chats. Y'all definitely made this worth it. I hope y'all got something unique. First of all, y'all realize Derek Jackson ain't going nowhere, because let's keep it real. Derek Jackson is not going to always, his shit is not going to continue to slide on YouTube. I can say that right now. If he got 1 million there, I mean, he ain't gonna take. I mean, he could balance it out. But I promise you that's not a completely separate audience. So if he has that means a lot of people, they still follow him. So again, it just shows you a lot of that shit don't matter, and it is what it is. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said, people want to still give him money. That is what it is. But I appreciate y'all's cash apps. I preach everything. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.